Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother.
Well, hello all, and we are back. We're going to talk WrestleMania. We are joined by Sean Cedar, who we've talked about on the show a bunch, wearing the Voices of Wrestling shirt, which, of course, he is one of the contributors of. We're glad to have him here. He was actually at some of these shows, so he's going to give us some live perspective. But overall, I guess we'll just kind of talk about what were your thoughts. We'll start with Chase. What were your thoughts of the weekend as a whole?
The propaganda machine is elegant and fully pumping, and it's working really well.
There you go. What about you, Markeem?
The weekend or just WrestleMania?
No, just the weekend. The weekend as a whole.
Wrestling is a confusing place. That's all I'll say.
What about you, Sean? What you were there? What did you think of the weekend as a whole?
Right. So, full disclosure, I only went on Thursday and Friday, but as far as my experience, I had a fine time at pretty much most of the shows I went to, and then WrestleMania itself. I guess on the weekend as a whole, there were very few, I would say, really great matches. I don't think WrestleMania had, at least in my view, didn't have any great matches at all. Some really good, but didn't reach, I would say, great levels or anything like that. But some really strong matches, but nothing that I would say would be super memorable or in terms of, I guess, match of the year. Nothing like that.
Oh, not a single one.
Yeah, this was not a match of the year. I kind of something I was, because we came on last week and we kind of were just dogged WrestleMania weekend as a whole. I don't think it was to the point. I'm going to say something, but I don't think we were to the point of the glory days of WrestleMania weekend. But there was enough really good shows on this weekend that I think there was hope that maybe we can get back to what close to what it once was. It's just not going to be Game Changer or any of the major maybe indie promotions are going to get us there. It's going to be kind of smaller promotions doing what more of I think modern indie wrestling kind of is. Excuse me. I think that's what we have to hope for. And hopefully if enough people talk about some of the shows I'm sure we're going to talk about and hype them up, maybe people will get some ideas and see what maybe they need to do next year to make the weekend a little better and make their shows stand out more. That would be
it. All comes down to booking, man. They just gotta book these shows better. Stop booking goofy gimmick stuff like concepts and book wrestling shows. And the shows this weekend that were just wrestling shows, other than Bloodsport's a concept, but that's a different thing. But other than all those shows, most of those were terrible. But the wrestling shows were good.
Don't you think with Bloodsport though that Barnett books that still like what you're saying? I think he books it in a way that fits the concept where you have Spring Break, which is jumped the shark probably 3 years ago. I mean, it was it was a good God damn it. It was a good idea when you had Ring of Honor having serious shows. You had Dragon Gate USA and Evolve having serious shows. You had all these serious shows, and then you had this fun kind of just fun show, and now it's
they're
gone way over the
thing.
Yeah, and we have an entire show now that's just the clusterfuck, and it's come on, really? Are we gonna do this?
My girlfriend had a very good comparison. You guys remember Rock and Jock from MTV? How they would have the Rock and Jock baseball, Rock and Jock. Yeah, she calls Spring Break Rock and Jock wrestling, and I'm like, you're almost right. It used to be. You're almost right. It used to be. Yeah.
I think Rock and Jock is before my time.
I remember when Rock and Jock was kind of good, because they would have like not the top like athletes from the sports, but pretty close. And then you would have
Actors and musicians and stuff like
that
that.
actually were good at the sports that they were playing. That was the thing. And then it got into silliness and all of this, but and more comedy-esque in some regards. But I guess we should start talking about these shows. Where do you want to start, Sean? Because you were there. We'll start with the shows you were actually at.
Well, I guess to just go back to something real quick, I think a big problem with the weekend too was the scheduling, which not necessarily the fault of the indie promotions, because you do have the problem now that WrestleMania is on Saturday and you have the NXT show in the afternoon. So, like for example, I think you had, Thursday night is a perfect example. You had WrestleCon and the Dean show and DDT going on at pretty much all the same time, and then you had and you're going to get some crossover or overlap, but this year in particular, especially on Thursday, it felt kind of a lot. But as far as the shows I went to, let me think about this. So WrestleCon was the only show that I had actually purchased a ticket for in advance. I got a Stardom ticket the week of, just because I wasn't sure if I was going to go, and then I waited to the last minute and they sold out, and then I got secondary market. And the Defy show, which I guess we'll start, I got a ticket like the day of the show, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be there on time. But thankfully, my hotel situation, I was able to check in and get to the show. Defy, I thought was fine. I think my favorite match from that show by far was CCK versus Moonlight Express, Mao and Mike Bailey. I don't watch DDT a lot, but every time I see Mao, he's incredible. One of my favorite matches from, my favorite match from the DDT show that I went to at WrestleMania weekend 5 years ago in New York, and probably one of my all-time favorite matches I've ever seen live, was the Weapons Rumble he had with Sanjiro Takagi. One of the most entertaining matches
That match is crazy.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That whole show, that's probably one of my favorite live experiences ever in La Boom DDT. That was pretty wild. Outside of that match, you had Kenta and Gringo Loco. I felt like Kenta worked a little harder than usual, but you still had the Kenta bullshit with the chair and the ref bumps and all that.
John, you're too nice. You're way too nice. A little harder than usual.
I mean that's my live perspective. I thought he did all right, but it was like slightly above the Kenta you get normally. I thought the other highlight was the Dragon Gate match, that sort of that 3-on-3 match, which was entertaining for what it was. I thought it was funny. So I was watching the match, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Ryo Saito was there the whole weekend. He came with the Dragon Gate crew, and I thought it was funny. I was sitting there in my seat, and literally like right across the room, I could see him recording that match on like a camcorder with like the little window you pop out and you record stuff with. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Some might call it.
That's weird. I didn't know that. That's weird.
Yeah, I guess I talked to somebody who knows about Dragon Gate because I was curious, and I guess because he's sort of actually involved in the office right now, he doesn't wrestle that much anymore. But I was like, well, there's so many shows over the weekend. Why don't you should at least like bring your gear. I mean, you never know when you might need it.
That just answered a question I have, because I didn't know he's part of the office. Because that is weird. Like he doesn't. Yeah.
I guess to be clear, I don't watch Dragon Gate, even though I would like to. I guess in story, I could be wrong on this because I talked to this person a little while ago. I guess in storyline he's part of the office. In actuality, he's actually part of the office too. I don't, I can't specify to that specifically because I'm not a Dragon Gate person. But yeah, again, I'm surprised that he did, and they did run into an issue because Ben K didn't get there till like late Thursday night. I guess because KZ was there, he was able to step in that match.
Yeah, he stepped in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and after that, I went to Stardom, and out of the 4 shows I saw live, that was probably my favorite, as a whole thing. Firstly, because it was just super short. By the time it ended, it was under 2 hours, and I'm not going to complain about that really. And then the crowd for the whole thing was great because it was just that was a crowd that was there to see Stardom, and they knew everything about Stardom. They knew the chants, the songs, the moves, everything. So, even though the main event was I thought was like boring or right on the line of a great match, nothing else I would call great. You had some good tags on there, but even though there wasn't anything like super spectacular, it was still an entertaining show. And then on Thursday night, I went to WrestleCon in the same building, 2300 Arena. That was a pretty solid show as well. Now, full disclosure, I left a couple minutes.
You liked WrestleCon? Like
I thought it was all right. It was all right. It wasn't. It was
you
all
were
right.
there. You were there though. You were there. Go back and watch that show, man. Like
right. But to be fair, I did leave a couple minutes into the main event because I was not going to stay there for that Sami Callihan match.
No. See, now I'm mad at you. If I had to suffer watching that shit live, man, that match was so. Oh my god, that match sucked. And it didn't end. It didn't end. How long was that? How long was that match? Honestly,
That match was long.
It was
That match
23
was
minutes
and
according to
horrible.
Cage Match.
Horrible.
23 minutes.
Just horrible, man. Sami Callihan, if I never see him on a television set, not wrestling, not anything, if I never see him again, it's not a moment too soon. That
Imagine
dude is awful.
Imagine thinking that 10 years ago.
Yeah, because he was good. He was good. Like he was good, man. He was a good brawler. He's had some really good brawls, like really good brawls.
I mean,
The one with Pentagon.
Yeah.
He had one with Kenny, one with Brian Cage. Like he's good at that, but now he can't even do that. He's worthless now, man. Just worthless.
I will say that because I'm thankful I did get to see the show live because I did not get to suffer through MLJ's commentary.
Oh yeah,
Not MLJ. What's his name? The wrong guy. Not MLJ.
I can't remember.
Kevin Gill. Kevin
Gill.
Gill.
Awful.
He sucks.
As soon as I heard he was doing the commentary, I was like, no. I was like,
the
there's only
dude
one
that
match
used
on
to
this show I
do
want to see, and
GCW?
I'm not. No.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And the thing is, Walker Stewart was in town. He was asking. He was advertising on Twitter for promotions to book him to do a commentary, and I guess nobody did.
He might be too expensive now.
I guess so.
He
But
works
no-
for a major promotion now, man.
Yeah.
Not working for crumbs no more. He made it.
Well, on the WrestleCon show, like I thought Josh Alexander and Masato Tanaka was like a
That
great
match is
match.
fucking awesome.
That was
That
awesome.
match is
That was one
awesome.
of my, I guess, top 5 matches of the weekend, at least from what I've seen so far. And then I guess, as far as like the CMLL Dragon Gate match, I enjoyed it, but it did not feel like the best version of that match. That makes sense. I definitely enjoyed seeing it live, and a lot of, or at least a decent reason why I went to some of these shows is just to see some people live that I've never seen before. And it was cool seeing all those guys in person for the first time. But yeah, I enjoyed that match. But it didn't. I thought it was going to be crazier. I thought it was going to be a lot crazier.
They were playing the hits, man. They were in that mode, and then it was a lot of playing to the crowd. It was not what it could have been. And think about like a lot of those Dragon Gate guys. Think about what that could have been like even 5 years ago. So
I
yeah,
have
it
a
just
question.
wasn't.
Since
wasn't
you guys both watched the other Dragon Gate show, right?
Yeah, I
The
saw the
EPU Dragon Gate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like I know Joe said that he felt like they tried harder on that show than they did on the Super Show? Did you guys feel like the same way?
Yeah. They got into the concept. I think the concept itself inherently made the guys try harder because they were like, hey, we're better than these dudes. And then the ETU guys, who I'm not very familiar with, there's a few of them I am, but I'm not very familiar with. They bust their ass too. Like that was probably my favorite show of the whole weekend. Probably. Like
yeah, there wasn't a
Supercard
bad
of Honor
match
to
on
me
that
was
show.
the best. Supercard of Honor to me was the best show, but like that was probably my favorite show of the whole weekend.
Yeah, and I think part of what helped that show too is the fact that that was not the first time that Dragon Gate guys had worked in that company, so you already had a pre-existing thing going on there going into that show. But I watched that show last night, and I would say that the main event was also not at the top, but in the like maybe 4, 5, 6 as far as like my top matches of the weekend. But
They
I
needed
enjoyed
like
that show.
5 more minutes, and it would have hit the next year. It kind of ended just too soon. It
Mhm.
was almost there. They were almost there, man. Yeah.
But then on Friday, I could have gone. I could have gone to more shows, and if I had gotten tickets in advance, and I had actually planned it out a little bit further in advance, so I planned on doing. So like I planned on like staying in New Jersey and then just Ubering in to Philadelphia to see more shows, but I had some issues with my car. It's fine. It created a situation where I should not be driving long distances in my car right now. So I ended up getting a cheaper hotel in the city and then just doing a one-night stay. And I only went to one show on Friday, and that was Ring of Honor. And if I had done more shows, I probably, and again, part of my thing is I like to see stuff just to say I saw it. Like I went, like I didn't go to the GCW Hammerstein's show just because I like GCW. I went just so I could say I saw
Because of the
GCW.
historical significance. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up being historically significant. All right.
I will say about that show, if I think it was Gringo Loco and ASF in that opening 6-man, had they not botched a big move at the finish, I probably would have gone 5 stars on that because that match was incredible. But that was the only.
Well, that was like the best. That match set like such a bar for that show. We're gonna get off topic here. That it was like, oh, they might actually deliver here, and then it was like,
Right.
Because right when that happened, I was like, oh, they understand the moment. Everything's here been well built. This match is awesome. You know, they're taking this serious, and man, after that, well,
and then in the next match, some guy took a botch off a ladder and nearly killed himself.
Yeah,
so.
GCW.
We don't want to talk about that show. Come on.
But
y'all talk about Bloodsport though, because I didn't watch Bloodsport.
I saw part of Bloodsport. I didn't see the whole show.
Oh, Sean. All right,
it's
to me, the thing that Josh Barnett I think gets with these shows is that this is work. Like this is like fighting, but it is extremely work to a way where he can dictate to make these fights exciting. I love it because like the way that Nick Nemeth and Mike Bailey is laid out. Mike Bailey's trying to do all this stuff. Nick Nemeth is trying not to do any of it, and it just comes off. It comes off like nasty in a way that you just cannot do with traditional pro wrestling. Nothing on this show is like match of the year. None of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I feel like everything except Marina Shafir, you should watch. Everything on that show.
I agree. I think this is like, in somewhat like, this is like the best, maybe well-rounded Bloodsport, I would say, that they've done. I can think of. It just doesn't have any great matches. Where I think a lot of the other ones had like great matches on it. This doesn't. But yeah,
the heat for Masha and Shayna Baszler is incredible though.
I mean, that was really good.
Incredible. Like that finish, I was like, oh my god, that's her. And then I realized she got to go back to the WWE. That's the moment I realized. Oh man, she's gonna go back to Raw and tagging with Zoe Stark.
Well, let's since we're talking about Bloodsport, what do you guys think about the fact that you got WWE talent on that show, and that WWE people were apparently all over the crowd, and
apparently Nick Khan wants to work with other companies. That means he wants to assimilate other companies because they don't work with anyone. Let's be honest here, man. Like I know people. Let's talk about it now. I know people are really weird about the New Japan AEW partnership. I'm weird about the New Japan and Stardom partnership. We didn't really talk. I guess now's a good time to talk about that. But whether you think AEW is taking advantage of its partners or not, that's up to you. I'm not here to debate that topic today. One thing that is inarguable is that that's the WWE's MO. They did it to Brit Rest. They did it to the territories. They've done it to everyone. So them wanting to work with GCW should scare everyone. This is not a good thing. These WWE fans celebrating this need to understand that the MO is to eventually assimilate them. So I don't know what's there to celebrate.
You think this was more of them working with GCW, or do you think this was more of TKO working with Josh Barnett though?
I think it's them working with GCW. Did Nick Khan put out a statement like this is the plan? Like they're going to do more stuff with Impact. Like This is the plan.
Okay.
Steal and take. That's the plan. Steal and take. That's why Rossio Gow, I'm so disappointed in his ass. Up here shaking hands and taking pictures. Like, you know what's coming. You know what they're gonna do. Like, why are you doing this? Like, yeah, okay, it seems like they're helping you. And then NXT Japan comes and all the women that work for you because of something you did now work for them, because that's the goal. That's the goal. They did it to the Brick West guys. Hey, Progress guys, you can work other indies. It's fine. You can go work other indies until we need you. But you can't lose to any of those guys. You can't work with any New Japan guys, or at the time, well, I guess AEW guys at the time. You can't even be seen on some of the shows. Some of the shows, your matches don't get streamed. But hey, go work for them. Like, no. what is this, man?
But
that's gonna happen.
But that was when the bad guy was there. Marquis.
But the good guy was running all of the stuff. I'm that at the time.
Telling you what
like,
people
that was Triple
say.
H. That was Triple H that did all of that. Like, he was the one working. You think did these people really think Vince McMahon was the one working with these fucking British? You think Vince McMahon is even aware what a fucking Progress Wrestling is? You think he even knows that there's some company, and you think he doesn't know? Like that, and speaking out killed Brit Rest, and this may happen again with whoever they partner with. Because they want to work with other promotions. What if they just start assimilating the indies around the United States? It's them killing the territories all over again. How are people excited about this?
Well, let me ask you this. Maybe this, I'm going to say something really mean. Maybe this hurts GCW in a way to where we actually get an indie that is booked well that can take GCW's spot.
See, I'm not touching that one. I'm not touching that one. Josh trying to get us in trouble. I'm not touching that.
I'm just saying.
But I hear what you're saying. This motherfucker. He's trying to get us canceled, y'all. He's trying to get us canceled.
I'm not trying to get you canceled. What did I say? What did I say was wrong? What did I say
you're advocating for the death of a wrestling company, Josh. You can't do that. You can't do that. I'm being facetious, but I get what you're saying.
All I'll say is the history is there. So
yeah,
that's all I need to say. The history is
there.
there.
When I saw those pictures of Rossi, I'm like, bro, what happened to you, bro? What happened to you? That hurt here. I understand. Like the goal was to break away from Bushi Road. I get that, but don't get in bed with these people. Not these people. But do your thing. You gave them Julia. They'll let you use Julia for a little bit until you can't use her anymore. But this is what it is.
You get it out. You get it out. Is it out?
And hold on, no. Why is she going to NXT? Let me tell y'all. I've seen the argument from someone we know. But I've seen the argument that that's the best way to introduce.
You're gonna use that person's verbiage?
No, I'm not. But. I've heard, and not just him, but I've heard the argument that NXT has been a good place to introduce the Joshi women and then bring them to the main roster. And I would agree with you if it was Black and Gold NXT.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because that let the WWE never seen that little pocket that paid attention to NXT. Wasn't the crossover people think it was, but like Asuka came to the main roster with fanfare because they did a good job with the video packages and things like that. Most of those people never saw her in NXT. They never did. But the difference is that Black and Gold NXT kind of built on work rate and things like that. It was kind of built on highlighting the things that already made these people cool instead of turning them into these cartoony ass characters that the current NXT is. I'm worried about what they will turn Julia into. I'm scared they won't just let her be Julia. That's all I'm worried about. And that's what got her over. The fact that she was anti, the fact that she's not the traditional like Stardom girl. She took a different route coming to Stardom. She kind of upset her whole group is like we upset that. They're like the LIJ of Stardom if you really think about it. What I mean? That's the whole point. And I just think that all that I'm scared that they'll strip all of that away from her by her going to NXT, and they'll put her in a schoolgirl dress and have her do Japanese gimmick like they did Sareee, one of the greatest women's wrestlers that the world has ever seen. I'm scared that the same thing will happen. Am I crazy for that? Am I crazy for that when there's precedent there? Am I crazy for that? Like, come on, person we both know. Like, come on, person. You know who I'm talking to? Jesus Christ.
I just think the funniest scenario would be Julia like just being the shit out of these like NIL people in matches. I just think that would be the funniest outcome
Oh,
possible.
I watch every week. I give you that. I watch every week for that. I give you that. Her just kneeing them in the face. That's another thing got her over. Her just
some volleyball player who's only had like 10 matches in her life.
Getting elbowed in the face by Julia.
But Jade Cargill ain't allowed to work.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to jump too far ahead because I got a whole thing about her. Jesus, man.
We'll get into that. But all right, where should we start?
Sorry, Sean. I'm crazy. You know I'm crazy. It might happen.
That's all right.
So
do we want to talk about Ring of Honor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Why did not talk about Ring of Honor?
Okay.
He loved that. Chase.
I loved it too.
But Chase loved it.
Me and Chase thought it was fantastic.
You didn't love that show?
So I thought that show simultaneously had the two best matches of the weekend, the opener and the main event. I don't think that's even in question, really, at least for me. But it also had maybe not the worst match of the weekend, but maybe one of the worst matches of the weekend.
Had the worst major. Had the worst show.
I don't know.
Had the worst. It had the worst match from one of the major shows at. I would say that.
And I would say it's among the worst, even of the non-major. Like it was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty bad, man. Because the problem was it went on forever.
Yeah.
It went on forever.
And that was the big problem with that show. I think the opener and the main event, they got the appropriate amount of time. I didn't have any issues with the amount of time that the Stardom match got. But pretty much, and I guess the Bullet Club Gold match was all right time-wise. But I think everything else went way too long, especially the I think Hikaru Shida and Athena suffered a lot from the time. I mean, to be fair, when they started the match, the crowd was dead, and about halfway through, they got them back, and it ended up being a good match. But that match was like over 20 minutes, and it needed 7 minutes chopped off.
I would agree with that. I thought it was long, but I thought it was.
Me and Chase are heart the same.
No.
I will give y'all that.
Do we just want to go this show top to bottom or just talk in general?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, match of the weekend was, which really, when we were on here last week, we all poo-pooed this card.
Which you shouldn't have because you knew it was going to be good.
I think we all can admit though it was better than the card suggested it would be. I think we all can agree with that.
Did anybody think coming out of that show that Lee Johnson versus Kyle Fletcher would show the match of the weekend? No.
I mean, it's not my match of the weekend.
Oh, of course not, you biased motherfucker. But
you don't know what I'm gonna say it is, Chase. You have no idea.
Eddie Kingston versus Mark Briscoe.
We'll see.
Anyway, but yeah, it reminded me a lot of an old Ring of Honor match where it's just two guys in their mid-20s that both have something to prove, and they go out there and do it together. That they both deserve more than what they're getting.
This is what I wish
the weekly show was. The weekly, yeah.
This is what modern Ring of Honor was. I wish they would take like the under 25 folks from AEW, and they would stick them on this show and give them not just something to do, but also let them show what they can do, right? Like Lee Moriarty should be on this show. I don't know why
Top Flight. I feel like Top Flight should be on this show.
Top Flight.
Hook.
I don't know about Hook. Hook's different.
The reason, because he's like AEW, he's just
that's different.
He's too much in canon with
but
AEW.
Especially the women. I think a lot of the women should be on this show to just give them more reps.
Like Queen Aminata and Billy Stark should absolutely be on the show, and they were.
Yes, exactly. I would, and then but I think just about it. Why is you had like, why is Lee Moriarty? Why is he not on this show more? Why like all of those type of guys? Why are they not on this show?
And then maybe take a couple of established like players in AEW and just put
Right.
them on Ring of Honor to work with the young guys, put them over and shit like that. I think that's what they should do.
Like I think he's too big now, but like, why was Daniel Garcia not on Ring of Honor?
Like
when Ring of
more?
Honor started,
Yeah.
when it started. Why now you've got what's his name that's with Christian? I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Oh, Nick
Nick
Wayne.
Wayne.
Nick Wayne.
That
Why
would
is
be
Nick-
perfect. That'd be
Why
perfect.
is Nick Wayne? Why is Nick Wayne not feuding with Kyle Fletcher on Ring of Honor? That would be, I think, an awesome feud for Ring of Honor, and something people would like. Oh, these are probably good matches. You can have them, just stuff like that. I wish Ring of Honor. I know there's a lot of people that don't want that, and they feel like, well, if you do that, it'll make it look like a developmental. But to me, that is more of what like Ring of Honor used to be, anyways. Even back in the day, it was a bunch of young guys just kind of getting their name and going out there and kind of proving themselves. And I think that
Because a lot of the major companies would just swoop in and grab those young guys, and then
Yes.
new guys would take that spot. So yeah, it was it was an unofficial developmental.
Right.
It was like Bryan Danielson was there forever, but he was an outlier. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
because Nigel
You're
wasn't
smart,
even
Josh. You've done this before. You're smart.
Nigel wasn't. When you look at it, Nigel wasn't there for all that long. Really. And look at the people that were there for a long time. It was people
4
that,
years.
Huh?
4 years.
Yeah.
05 to 09.
I think, but like he wasn't there that long before, and everybody knew that eventually he was going to go somewhere. So, but yeah, no, I think that's my thoughts on that match. Long and
Yeah,
Success
as soon
was
as-
perfect. They were really dangerous in that, and I like my wrestling dangerous. I'm sorry, I'm not one of those safety people. You do crazy stuff, I'm with it, man. That's all it takes from me.
Yeah, as soon as they hit that brainbuster on the guardrail, like 5 minutes into the match, you knew it was going to be pretty crazy, and it was. So
Kyle Fletcher is built so much like Will Ospreay, though. So much so that my girlfriend always confuses those two. Like she's like, that Ospreay? Like, no, it's not.
He
It's not
doesn't
Ospreay.
fly though.
But they have similar builds. They look similar. Like it could be brothers or something.
I don't even know. Like, who would be a good comp for how Fletcher works?
works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah,
I don't know. It's
Malenko?
taking too long. I don't know. Malenko? No.
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 Well, he's more hard. Like Malenko was very much like move, not like this.
I love Malenko, but let's get to the next thing.
Yeah,
All right. Then we had the Stardom 6-woman tag. I thought this match was awesome. Markeem. I don't know any of the ladies in that match because I don't watch Stardom.
It was a great showcase for people that have never seen those women. It was a great advertisement for the streaming service, honestly. And if that is the goal of the partnership, mission accomplished. I have my own qualms about like the way things played out on that Stardom show with Toni Storm. Like I know a lot of people say that like the partnership with AEW and New Japan and stuff feels oppressive. And I always feel like they're kind of putting on with that. But at that Stardom show, that felt oppressive. Can we just get the fun reunion of Club Venus? Because that was cool. Like Mariah may have been gone. We didn't know if they ever tag again. We gotta just rope to like she has to be here. Like she like that felt like somebody
But-
farting during sex. Like you know what I mean? I was like, this is like
What
this
if-
is nah.
What if it does end up playing into the bigger story though?
Do it later. Don't do it then. You know what I mean? Do it later. It's
I mean,
like I was like, why is she here? Maybe it's just because I'm so out on Toni Storm. Maybe that's what's going on.
I mean, they're doing that match. They're absolutely doing that match.
Yeah.
And Mariah is going to have to
And
decide.
maybe that's where Mariah finally turns is there.
And I am not looking forward to that shit. Mina Shirakawa is one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet, and she's going against one of the worst versions of one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet. Man, that sucks, man. But nah, that match was cool. I thought that all the women look good. Micah looked like a powerhouse, and I'm so glad that. See, this is gonna sound crazy because she's a Japanese woman. I doubt she's scrolling through social media and seeing what we have to say about her. I really, but she wrestles like a powerhouse now, and everyone complained about that. Like, woman, you are way bigger than all these chicks. Do that. And this weekend, man, since she won that title, she's done that. So I can't say much. That's how she works now, and I'm happy for her. But yeah, good job by all of them, I thought. But even with that being said, I thought it was still a little disappointing.
I wouldn't say disappointing. I thought like it was a good showcase match, but it also kind of showcased kind of my problems with Stardom too, where like the women would they would like get to the point where I was like, yes, and then they would start doing, I don't want to say silly things, but just things that were kind of maybe a little disjointed, I felt. And so it took me out of it just a little bit. Not like
to elaborate.
Like when they were like running around the ring, like when you'd have like the two in the ring, and then you would have like people running around the ring, but they really weren't doing anything. I was like, what are we doing?
That's not just Stardom. That's multi-man Japanese wrestling. That's what it is. Like that. They stand outside. Somebody pretends like they're grabbing somebody. No one's really doing. That's what it is, man.
But I don't like that at all. I've never liked that.
I love Dragon Gate, but that's a Dragon Gate staple right there. That happens.
But it usually leads to something in Dragon Gate. Like that's the thing. And this didn't seem to lead to anything. It was just like trying to give them something to do. And then but other than that, I thought it was a great showcase. I thought it served its purpose, and it makes me mad that we could have been getting this for the last 2 years and we haven't. So that was the other part of that.
I don't know who we can blame, but I a lot of people say a lot of different things. I don't want to litigate that. That's what some people say. Some people, but according to him, it was also Bushi Road though. Like I don't know who to believe. I don't know.
Where was Ashiogawa Saturday morning, Marquine?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Where was he? What was he doing? Who was he sitting next to?
I hear you, man.
Because I mean, here's the thing: is the Stardom women have been at WrestleMania weekend, and they weren't on.
I know that, Josh. I'm aware.
Just saying that. Okay, we can go on to the. What did you think of this, Sean? You said you liked this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was great, but yeah, a pretty solid showcase match, I would say.
All right, so after this, we had a WWE Raw TV match in the Undisputed Kingdom versus the Infantry. I was disappointed by this. I thought the Infantry would have showed out a little bit more, but maybe they would have if the ending was a little bit better, because you just had Mike Wardlow coming in, clotheslining a guy. I don't know. This match bummed me out. I was expecting more. It's kind of flat.
I feel like they completely dropped the ball with especially with this tag team with the Undisputed Era. Is that it? It's
Undisputed Kingdom.
Undisputed Kingdom. Whatever it is.
That's 2 gimmicks ago.
Whatever it is. I feel like they needed, even though I know it would have been hard because people just aren't probably going to go for this tactic. They needed to put over a lot harder than what they have been. So I think that was one of the things about this match is it was just like, it was there. But yeah, it felt like it was there because you didn't care about either. Like, I shouldn't say you didn't care about either team, but it was just kind of like, what are we doing here? I feel like Bennett, I feel like they should be taking on better people than they are, and they're not. And I think that's also hurt the unit as a whole too. But it is what it is. We're treading water.
I feel like they should just wrestle more. I feel like they don't wrestle enough, like those two together. Yeah. Like, it's a little weird.
It was a 14-minute match that should have gone 7.
Yeah.
And there were 2 matches on the pre-show that were better.
Yes.
Actually, maybe 3.
The pre-show was actually really good. I enjoyed the pre-show a lot. So.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Good, pretty good, really good pro wrestling matches to try and convince people to buy your show instead of 3 talking heads sitting there having this real sports and fucking commentary about a fucking fake pro wrestling match. It's really weird.
What do you guys think of the new name for Black Taurus?
What was it?
Beast
what was it?
Mortos.
Beast Mortos. Yeah.
I don't know. I like the mask. The mask looked.
Mhm.
It's gonna take some getting used to. It's gonna take some getting used to.
But I like the mask, and I mean, he looked awesome. So
Yeah.
But I
That
think
that match was better than I think most of the middle portion of the show. So it probably should have been on the pay-per-view.
I really like that match. I thought that
Yeah.
match was very, very good. So
Because he's a really good wrestler, man.
well, and he was in there with a really good wrestler. So, but anyways, what's next?
After that, we had the women's TV tournament final between Queen Amanada versus Billy Starks. I got
Me and Chase love this match. Me and Chase love this match.
2024. I got worked in 2024. I thought that girl was legit hurt. I don't know. Did people live fall for it? Because on TV we did. Well, at least Marquina and I did.
At least where I was sitting, I sort of got the vibes that there was a chance maybe been legit, but I think most people around me figured that was probably a work and were waiting for that shoe to drop. I wasn't as big of a fan of the finish. I think if you wanted to tell that story that Billy is, learning from Athena and being more evil, if you want to say it like that, there could have been better ways to go about that. Like, just when I was writing the review for the Voice of Wrestling, like one that came to mind immediately was the Johnny Gargano Shingo finish from 2013, where Johnny just he couldn't beat Shingo, so he uses like a string to choke him out.
But that's not fair, Sean. That's like the greatest version of that.
But it's
fair.
not. I think it's better, personally. But at the same time, I say that, and I have problems with the idea that I have a hard time, I guess, believing that in an era where I think a lot of fans have seen matches stop due to injury, that I feel like most of them know that if someone's hurt, you either get what happened with Ricky Starks, where they just go to a quick finish, or they throw the X and the match is over. And
fair.
as soon as they weren't doing that, then it's clear that it's a work. But at the same time, when she did reveal the ruse, that was like the biggest reaction of the entire match. So who am I to say? Obviously, what they did worked for the crowd. So
I thought this.
I mean, they got me. They got me. I can't complain too much.
I thought this was very good. I thought you saw which it's there, but you don't always see it with Billy Starks. I think you saw what she could be. I think I've seen a lot of people do this where they compare her to Nick Wayne, and you can't do that. Nick Wayne is a freak. If you've watched him enough, like he's so much better than he's a
prodigy. He's like a Victor Wembanyama version of a wrestler. Like he's a prodigy, man. It's like he's born to just do this.
Yes, shit. like you can't compare her to him. I think if you who's the NXT champion? What's her name?
Roxanne.
Roxanne. If you compare them, and she's older, but pretty much they have the same hype, both young, especially when Roxanne was here. She's so much better, and she does a lot of things better, and you can see that as long as they don't like overly push her and they keep her kind of as they've been doing, I think she'll be what people always thought she could be. One of those
people have reverted though. Like she's
yes, I know. She's like
she didn't know how to work.
It's gotten to the point it's more than reverted.
Well, you're really mad about that, huh, Jake? That Jade Cargill thing is really bothering you, right?
So she had to learn, Marquine. See,
she was so good when she was at Ring of Honor. It's like not even the same.
She didn't know how to work though.
It's not even like the same. Like it's hard to imagine it's the same person.
Excuse me, I'm actually saying this wrong. She didn't know how to perform.
There you go. But I thought this is probably the best Billy Starks match I've ever seen, bar none. You definitely saw. This was. I thought this was
Athena match though.
I thought the Athena match was better.
I never see the thing with the Athena match was
You don't like the aftermath.
probably
You
like
don't
I took
like
that.
That's fair. That's
You're
fair.
probably right. It's probably I took the whole thing in, but I just like this. I was into this. I thought they both. I thought it. This also probably over delivered, and when something over delivers, I'm gonna like it a little more. I'm always gonna be like that, and I definitely think this to me over delivered. I don't think it was great, but I think it was really good, and I wasn't expecting
I don't
it.
know
To
what
be.
you're talking about. Queen.
Me and Chase went for her. Me and
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah, me, Queen I'm not is always serving.
That's not why I went for her. I'm talking about the match, but
You have been like that since you saw her live. It is the
Dude, I was front row. All right, I'm just telling you, life changing experience.
I will
Changing.
I will say that I liked
Jiggles.
from what I've seen from her on AEW television, but I think seeing her live, I sort of get it now as far as like the hype for her as a wrestler.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I totally got it when I saw her. Live.
this motherfucker, he's talking about her as a performer. Damn it, Chase.
Like I think that spot she does where she does the running kick with the person leaning up against the ropes, that looks like it kills someone.
No, I like that other thing she does better.
What,
Chase.
I'm afraid to ask.
I mean, it's
But
way
no,
more
she.
impressive.
Yeah,
than
I saw her. I saw her live. She came to Greenville. This was like, like last year before, something like that. She was at some random indie, and I was like, "Yo, she's out here really hitting people. I like her. We're a fan, man. She's good, really good." That was the year before last. It's 2022.
But yeah, I enjoyed that match a lot. I want to. The thing about the women's matches on this show is like I felt, even though you said that thing about Athena and Karashita having too much time,
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna set him straight.
I felt like all the women's matches on this show actually built and had better finishes than most of because every time there's a women's match on AEW, it just feels like throwaway. Like, oh, we're just doing this to make the stopwatch people happy. Whereas on the three matches on this show all felt like they had a purpose. And I wish that Tony would do that with his main show more. Whereas, you're getting Mariah May and Anna Jay on Wednesday. Like, okay, he already did it on Rampage a few weeks back. What's the point? It just feels like...
That card on Wednesday looks like garbage, by the way. Throwing that out there. It doesn't look very good.
They got Dustin versus Samoa Joe.
I don't want to see that, man.
It'll be great.
I'm not canceling my plans that I had on Wednesday to fucking watch Dustin versus Samoa. It's not happening.
What about Jack Perry versus Phil Brooks?
When that happens,
We'll get that.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that because I got something to say about that. We'll talk about it.
All right. Well, anyways, I feel like the matches on the women's match on this show all have purposes. Again, they were all built up, but it's like Wednesdays. There's like nothing ever built up. It's just random shit every week. And
I mean, I thought all four. I mean, even the Mariah May Momo Kogo match, I thought on the pre-show was pretty good. I just think, at least for me personally, that the matches involving the AEW ROH women were they had their own issues, at least for me. But I thought all of them were still good. So
It would be if you got this. I think more of this on AEW TV in particular. I think people would, but I think part of that also is that you've got. Like Julia is the TBS champion, and like the gimmick is great, and she is embraced it, and she's great, but she's that type of wrestler. But she doesn't need to be a champion, and they need to get that. Like,
and she doesn't still need to be champion. Like she don't need to be champion.
Like I would rather her be on. I wish her and Athena would switch places. I really do because I think that it would work out 1,000 times better for
Yo, could you imagine if Athena was the champ for like this Willow Nightingale Mercedes stuff? You bring up a good point, sir.
like I've thought that since when Julia got hot, I was like, why don't you put her on ROH, have her beat Athena so Athena can come over here, because she's got the gimmick and she's gotten definitely all the little things, and that's what's gotten her better. She's still not great in the ring, but she's the other aspects of it. She's definitely getting now.
Remember how we talked about those veterans that could be on like ROH? How about just the House of Black? Just have the angle behind ROH. Well, I mean, I know if they played ball, let's put it like that. But just shut up, Chase. But if you had them on the show, like running the show, like the story is like this faction is controlling this show. It's a good story.
Or not even that. Just if, like I said, if you had Nick Wayne on the show and then you had Christian with Nick Wayne on the show, I think that would be, that'd be good too. So, but
I think the big thing with the women's division on the AEW side, as far as the champions go, is that I think you can have one of the champions be like a gimmick, but the problem is both of them are.
Right.
You're right about that.
Right.
One of the gimmicks I like though.
Yeah.
We've gotten way off track. I can't believe you let us get off this track, Markeem, considering that it was Bullet Club Gold of Switchblade Jay White and the Guns versus Minoru Suzuki, Alex Zane, and the Murder Croc Monster, Lance Archer. I thought this was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun too. I liked it.
It was fun.
The I don't know if you caught it on TV, Sean, but the best part of this match was the banner between Jay White and Minoru Suzuki and the Guns and Lance Archer. That shit was hilarious, man. Every time Lance Archer grabbed one of them, Lance Archer, what did that Austin Cut say? He was like, "Bro, you're so tall. You're so." And what did Jay say to Suzuki? He was like, "I work here now. Why are you following me?"
You mean in-ring banter that actually doesn't turn you off of the match?
Yeah.
WWE could learn a thing or two.
Mm-hmm.
It's my twin brother, man. Well,
No, we're not there yet. God damn it! Shut up. All right, fun match.
Yeah, it was a good match, and I think so. I don't know what Alex Zane is doing, and they don't use Lance Archer that much. They should just bring in Monster Sauce and use them regularly, or at least semi-regularly.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Especially because, like, not even New Japan uses Lance that much. Like, neither side uses him that much. Someone needs.
I mean, he's what? He's 40.
I don't know.
He's 40 something. He's probably
47.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So see, so he probably doesn't.
He's that old.
He probably doesn't want to work that much, especially with how big he is. I'm sure his knees are not the best. So,
and then after that match, what?
Nothing. I've got my wife decided that
she vacuuming. That what that is?
Vacuuming. Yeah,
I hear that.
I'm like,
probably because she knows we're about to talk about the fight without honor of the century, Dalton Castle versus Johnny TV. This was a giant, massive piece of shit. I might call this the worst Ring of Honor match.
And the thing is, we came on here and said this could be a fun match, and then the
build-up was all fun.
Yeah, the build was fun. Yeah, I don't think it needed to be the fight without honor though. Like that's what, because these mean something, man. Not whatever.
You could have done a fight without honor, but it needed to be 10 minutes. It needed to be a lot of like joke spots and still
How
be
long was this?
And still be, but I don't know what either of them were thinking. Now
there is one spot that popped me. I ain't gonna lie. Jack Cartwheel popped me. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
that was funny.
That was the one spot.
Was it worth everything else though?
No, it was not. No.
Like, I love Dalton Castle. Got pictures of Dalton Castle. I was there when he broke his back in New Orleans, and I was just immensely disappointed by this. But I don't. Who do you blame? You blame him or Johnny? Who gets to blame? Taya?
I'm blaming Johnny because he has no built-in excuse. Like Dalton Castle, he just physically, just like you said, he's not who he was.
I'll be back. You guys keep going.
Oh shit! We caused marital problems. I didn't want to do that. But no, I blame Johnny 100%. Johnny was.
I blame Tony Khan for giving this 22 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah, probably the worst fight without honor that there's been.
It's definitely the worst fight without honor. I have to think if there's a worse ROH match I can think of off the top of my head.
The worst ROH match that you've ever seen.
There is one ROH match I could think of that you probably have never seen because you probably weren't watching Ring of Honor regularly in 2013.
I was not.
Yeah, it was an I Quit match between BJ Whitmer and Rhett Titus.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh, that
That's
sounds
all
awful.
you had to say.
That
That's all
sounds
you had to
awful.
say.
Yeah, and the finish was absurd. It was really absurd. It wasn't even. It was like 10 minutes. They had like maybe like 2 chairs as weapons, and that was it. It was. And again, I don't want to go over the finish because it was absurd.
You getting a divorce?
I give you
Josh?
another one.
Maybe.
I give you another one. Remember when Nigel McGuinness randomly defended the title against Ruckus? You remember that?
I think so, yeah.
Ruckus of all people. That was pretty
I thought
bad.
that was Austin Aries.
Was that Austin Aries? I thought it was
Austin
Nigel.
Aries.
You sure?
I
Either
think
way,
I think it was Nigel. I think it was Nigel.
either way, that was pretty bad too. Because that had like that. I think it was like 18 minutes long for Ruckus, and you knew he wasn't gonna win. Yeah, bad.
Oh, and by the way, one thing: Paul Walter Hauser is not famous. I'm sorry.
No.
No.
Yeah, I didn't realize who he was.
Yeah.
At
Oh,
all.
I knew who he was because it's like anytime that somebody in Hollywood's like, "Ooh, I like wrestling," people just latch onto him. Thankfully, he's never appeared on AEW TV, but he, like, you can if you do it here, I'm okay with it. But if you do it on AEW, fuck no. But it's like anytime it's like, "Oh God, somebody famous here." But the thing I did like about AEW at first was like when Jade Cargill's getting famous and like, there's her husband holding her daughter. And they never brought up that he was MLB All-Star Brandon Phillips. But you know the first time that dude shows up in a crowd at WWE, what they're going to do.
I think they already have, haven't they?
I don't know. I don't watch WWE programming. You kidding?
Oh, man.
All right,
Yeah,
Josh.
when Paul Walter Hauser came out, I thought he came out early because he spent like what felt like an eternity just standing in the ring.
And then he got up in the corner like he was sexy.
Yeah. I don't know. Not a good match.
No,
No,
it was
awful,
not.
terrible, bad. After that, we did have a great match though with Athena versus Karashida.
Yeah, that's right. Tell him,
Joaquin,
Chase.
Go off. Go off.
Great match. Great. I thought, look, I get what you're saying about it going too long, but I thought everything they did before mattered. So when the finish happened, that's why they were so hot. Like, that was the point.
Mm-hmm.
I was into all of that because I think that, and I'm going to be real, man. I'm going to be real. As much as I like Hikaru Shida, I think, like, she's kind of past her prime. Like, people that think she's been good in AEW, she's been fine in AEW. She wasn't what she was pre the beginning of AEW, though. I think she's like one of the most overrated wrestlers in that company. Just being honest.
Jamie Hayter match though.
Yeah.
That's one. That's one. Everything else is just fine. Like before watch some of her stuff before she actually got there, Chase. That was a great wrestler. This woman now it's like watching who's someone that used to be great, but now it's just good. It's like watching Sami Zayn all the time. Like Sami Zayn's still good. But he ain't El
He
Generico.
just had a match of the year contender.
No,
What
he
talking
didn't.
about?
No, he
No, he
didn't.
didn't.
Yeah, shit wasn't no match of the year. You know that shit. But yeah, it's like watching. He's not El Generico. He's good though. He's good. That's how I feel watching Sheeta. But this match was great. I thought it all mattered. The finish. You guys were hot, Sean. You were there, so it all
Yeah, no,
worked.
it like I said, they got the crowd because the crowd was for that first portion of the match. They were dead. But they got him back, so that's a credit to them.
Yeah, I would say the thing with Sheeta is that she, I think people want her to be at a certain level, and she's not at that level. So then when she has matches, her matches have a tendency to underperform because people have an idea of where they think she is, and she's not that good. So
Cause let's be honest, like, yeah, she's a Joshi wrestler, but she's not among the best Joshis in the world, and she hasn't been for years. You know what I mean? So when people see her, they think, oh, she's one of them. When she's not. She's not. She's not. Still like her, but she's not.
very, very true. Okay.
But yeah, we have to shout out the Carlac cosplay. Can't believe nobody said that so far.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool.
Awesome.
I think that not enough people knew who it was, so it was
I didn't know what that was.
came off a little weird.
You ever play ballers? You don't play video games?
Who,
No,
me?
you got the X's and O's right behind you. You ain't play ballers.
I play like F1 and like Star Wars
Oh,
Battlefront.
Oh my god.
I play racing games and like I played the Battlefront Classic Collection. That's what I play.
You bought that? Why?
Yeah.
It's glitchy.
Well, here's the
They'll
thing.
fix it.
I don't
That's
give a
everything.
fuck. I don't give a fuck about the online. I don't play online. That's not my thing. So I just
Okay,
play.
all right,
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on.
We get off top.
Moving on.
You don't play
Did-
Battlefront? Okay, all right.
Did they show the video package for Mark Briscoe at the Kingston in the building?
I think they did. Yeah, they did before the show and probably right before the main event. Yeah.
Because that video package was incredible. Probably
I think
one of
that's
the best.
the second
AEW's
best one they
produced.
ever did. The best one they ever did was Sting. Like it's Sting, man. Like
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was God, why can't I remember? John Huber.
oh yeah. Oh,
That's
I
good
don't
too.
know. I don't know. But yeah, it's up there. It's up there with all those. That was amazing. That was
But,
amazing.
like,
And it was wild because like my girlfriend, I bring up a lot because I'm in love. Oh shit. But we were watching that and she's been watching wrestling as long as we've been together. She's seen like a handful of Briscoe's matches, only the ones I showed her. And by the end of that package, she was like, she looked at me and she was like, I'm ready to run through a wall for this man. And then she was like, I know you love Eddie Kingston, but fuck him tonight. Seriously.
I marked
Okay.
out because I knew what was coming when the sound went down after the reach for the
Oh yeah,
Star
yeah.
Boy.
I did too.
And then the
Mhm.
brr, brr, brr. And it was a crowd that get it, so Mark Briscoe's
Yeah.
not going to go crazy and get all mad that they didn't pop for that. But yeah, I loved this match a lot. It
That was great.
I
great.
wish that a certain match on WrestleMania had this much emotional content, but it
Well, no,
felt.
that wasn't. forced.
Excuse me. I was saying that, but yes, this felt genuine. Whereas all the, every time Cody goes, it just feels so fake, and this felt raw and real. The whole family was there in the front row.
Mhm.
Papa
it
Briscoe
was-
yelling.
Yes, come on, chicken.
The
Could
only
you hear him
thing,
yelling, "Come on, chicken"? Sean in the crowd, could you hear him yelling?
I could see him yelling, but I couldn't hear what he
Okay,
was saying.
alright.
No. See,
The-
he was sitting on the opposite side of the ring from where I was sitting. So
I got one little teeny tiny problem with this match. It's so small, but
Hold on a second. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. Come
No,
on.
he doesn't.
Come on.
no, it's a way it could have been like even better. Like, cause it's been said by other people, but man, I wish this could have been built more. I really wish it could have been built more.
Well,
And-
Tony Khan told the story after the show.
Yeah, I know about Eddie. Yeah, but man, like imagine if this was like Jay Lethal. You know what I mean? Like I don't think the match, like, because Eddie Kingston's a better wrestler. I'm just talking about from like an emotional standpoint. Imagine if it was someone like a Jay Lethal, or I know Joe's too big for ROH. He's the world champion now, but imagine if he like stayed there. And this was Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Someone like that. So, but in terms of just the match itself, y'all know I love Eddie Kingston, and he didn't work how he'd been working the past couple years with the. I love him to death. I love the All Japan cosplay, but he wasn't doing that stuff. He was 2005 through 2008 Independence. I'm gonna punch you in the face, Eddie Kingston, and I was with all that because when he said he's gonna be the old Eddie, he wrestled like the old Eddie. I loved all that. Like, y'all know I love this man. This is my match of the weekend. Y'all know that. Like y'all know that. Come on now. Come on.
This
Eddie
was-
Kingston in the main
this
event.
was-
it would have been match of the weekend for me if he had actually successfully pulled off that cutthroat driver. But I get it. Eddie Kingston is a bigger
He's
guy.
fat.
You gotta let
Yeah.
that go. You gotta let
Yeah.
that go.
He's fat, man.
I mean, at least it still looked like a move. It looked like an angle slam, so it wasn't a total loss. But I think for me, that's what keeps it from being above Fletcher and Lee Johnson. But they're close. They're right there.
This was definitely like, and I think everybody like was emotionally invested that probably watched this match too. I think that helped in a lot of ways, and it was great on top of it, which helped as well. So it wasn't just the emotion. So
One live aspect I will add is that I figured Mark was winning, especially after he came out to give me back my bullet switch. I'm so thankful that over the last year I saw that, and I got to see both Final Countdown entrances for Danielson. in person, so that was awesome.
You
Bitch.
asshole. You asshole. Jesus, man.
All
But-
I got is seek and destroy.
Yeah, that's
But-
all I got too.
But I during like in the last couple minutes of the match, I did see there was a ring crew person handing out streamers to the peoples in the front rows. So I kind of figured, yeah, that was coming, but it didn't hurt the match for me. But yeah, if I needed any more evidence that Mark was going to win the match, that pretty much sealed it.
Honestly, that would have made me more excited. Oh my God, Mark's gonna win. If that was me. But yeah, I got you.
So who watched NXT? Because I did not.
I watched NXT, but I just want to talk about Spring Break real quick. That show is complete and utter dog shit minus the Dragon Gate match. And the Dragon Gate match is one of the best matches of the weekend. So go with that. That's all I got to say.
What's the Dragon Gate? What's the Dragon Gate match on that?
It's just the guy. It's a 6-man. The Dragon Gate 6-man. Yeah. That's it though. Don't watch nothing else from that show.
I did not watch NXT.
Fucking
Good
Blake
to know.
Christian. Blake Christian and Joey Janela is still going on. Still right now. Still
What is
going on.
with
Did
Joey
that again?
Janela and going forever?
God
Yeah.
damn it, man. And then they did the predictable thing. Missy Hyatt is my manager for this match, and she cares about the state of, independence because she came from the territories, and you're a black heart Blake Christian and you don't care about this place anymore because you went and made money in other places, and she's gonna be in my corner to make sure no shenanigans happens. What happened, guys? What happened?
I don't know what happened. I didn't watch the show.
What, I mean, you don't have to. She turned on him. Like, it was fun. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Jesus, and she left with Blake, and God, it was so long. God,
Well, that's also like inside joke too about Missy coming with one person and leaving with another. So
I know, Josh.
but
Fucking hated that match. You know what? Honestly, I can't say that because the work itself was okay, but it just, God damn it, that match is so long, man. Oh my God. And then the crowd was dead. A dead crowd watching people fall through tables, like table bumps. No one cares, and yeah, that was trash. That was
I will
trash.
say there are a couple matches I still have to watch from the weekend. The Dragon Gate match from that show is one of them, and based on what I've heard about it and some of the clips I have seen, I actually kind of do want to check out that Punjabi prison match from the Clusterfuck show.
What?
Just to see how that turned out.
Yeah,
but,
they did it. Yeah, they did it. I seen some gifs too. And look,
Yeah.
if nothing else, like something like a spectacle, man. I might be.
you
with
mean
on
stuff
that.
that should have been on Spring Break? Because I mean that's what Spring Break should be. It should be like crazy spectacle matches and not a bunch of meme wrestling and stuff going.
Joey Janela
long.
going so goddamn long.
By the way,
I know you're in shape now, bro. You don't have to. I believe you.
Mhm.
Stop.
By the way, speaking of the Clusterfuck, real quick, God bless Veda Scott. But I saw a clip of that show on Twitter, and it sounded like her voice was just dead.
She been commentating so much.
Yeah.
all weekend. Oh, she did that
did
too.
so many
Oh
shows.
man. Oh man.
She
That
probably,
poor lady.
I mean, she probably did as many shows as Bailey did. I bet.
Yeah, he was on everything. He was.
You know.
I never get tired of Mike Bailey though. Never.
Josh,
get tired.
did you see NXT? No,
I did not
Because-
see NXT.
I
really-
literally watched it right before we started this recording. So
All right, y'all two,
Sean,
go ahead.
go ahead and tell him our hot take, Sean. Go ahead.
the opener, which was Corbin and Breaker versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier, is probably one of the best matches of the weekend. At least for
Very
my sensibilities, it was just a moves match and it was great. It took Baron Corbin a fucking decade, but he's finally found a role like in the ring that he's actually good at. He's like, this tag team with Baron Corbin is a lot of fun, and
Braun
I
Breaker.
guess it worked. Yeah, I get it worked in this case because they were facing high flyers. But yeah, I thought that match was a blast to watch, and definitely the best WWE match of the weekend. Like, I don't think that's even a question.
I agree, man. That was gonna be I agree, 100%. The best WWE match of the weekend. They were, like you said, they were doing moves. I even think this might be Braun Breaker's best match too. To be honest with you.
It might be.
Yeah, because they killed it, man. They I'm not gonna lie, and y'all know I fucking hate Baron Corbin, but they killed it, man. Look, I was on the edge of my seat. I was actually invested by the end. They look one of the best matches of the weekend,
and it wasn't crisp, but I think the fact that it wasn't crisp kind of added to it a little bit. But that's just and I would say as on the whole about this show, watch the opener. Watch the scene of Knuckles behind the commentary desk. Watch the three-way for the North American title, and then you can turn off the show. That's all you need to see.
All right, so I'm a little different. Watch the opener. Absolutely Knuckles. That was such a shock to the system. And then the props to the commentary, they actually mentioned it. So a real moment on a WWE show. That was crazy. Go figure. But also the three-way, which I thought also was a great match. And I like Obafemi, man. I think his gimmick's a little goofy, but I think the dude, if he cleans up the fact that he hasn't wrestled much, he looks like a star. His moveset is pretty great for a big man. I think he has a bit of potential there, but it's the WWE, so who the fuck knows? But I kind of like the women's title match a little bit, kind of, sort of, maybe. And the last 2 minutes of Carmelo and Trick, and then that's it. But it was I thought as a whole, if you like the WWE though, to me that show peaked higher than anything on WrestleMania, and I'd hear an argument for like that being the best WWE show of the weekend, to be honest. That's how sad WrestleMania was, but we'll talk about it.
All right. I'm going to have to take a step out just real quick because I have to attend to a dog. So
there you go.
Right back.
Just wave on your screen so I can see. All right.
There you go.
All right.
Time to talk about...
Hold up. I want to talk about the absolute best thing the WWE did, period. And maybe the best thing of the whole weekend. Paul Heyman's speech. Did you see it, Josh?
I did not see it yet. I will watch it.
Josh, look, man.
I haven't had time to watch it.
Look, man. I talk a lot of shit about that company because I fucking hate it, and everybody knows I hate it. But man, you give Paul Heyman a microphone and you tell him he can say what he wants to, it's magic, bro. Like the only thing that was a little weird is when he was like he first thanked people, and he even turned to Cody, and in character he was like, "I wish your dad was alive to see this too." I thought that was a great moment. And then when he put on the stuff, he put on the jacket, he put on the hat, pulled out the cell phone, and then he just, for just a moment in time, I felt like I was back in 1996. And I was like, this is everything it needed to be, man. They let him cuss. They let him do all that. And it didn't seem like, hey, Paul, go out there and curse. Like, nah, it was just Paul Heyman being Paul Heyman. That was the best thing all weekend. One of the greatest, like, not even just like promos to me. It was like one of the best like speeches in like that sort of realm in like the history of like anything. You know what I mean? I loved it. I loved it. Best thing they did all weekend. Sean, did you see the Paul Heyman speech?
I saw snippets. I didn't watch the Hall of Fame other than like brief.
I mean, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't either. But watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that. It's fucking amazing. It really is. It's fucking amazing.
And I do want to apologize for stepping out. Our dog has a very set pattern of what she wants to do at certain times. So
you fine, man? Fine. Sorry.
We have a Cavalier King Charles. So.
Oh God.
Yeah. That was weird. Somebody brought it up in the chat, but that's a bigger problem with the whole weekend. Paul Heyman bigging up Triple H was weird, but that's something everyone did, and it was there was a reason.
We will get to that.
You just you gotta ignore that aspect of it. Just everything else, ignore that aspect of it, but everything else was great. Because that was very contrived. It seemed like they all were coached to do that. Everybody.
Am I the only one that watched the CMLL show?
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Whoa, holy fuck. Oh, and WrestleMania weekend was packed. To be honest with you, Blue Panther and Bryan Danielson was the best match of the weekend. If we're really being honest.
Yeah, but I'm not going to count, that. But that match was awesome. If you haven't seen that, it's worth the. I would say it's worth the YouTube sub to the CMLL channel to go to go.
I mean,
watch that.
I would agree, but y'all know I steal that. Like y'all, I'm just like
There is someone who I may or may not do a podcast with that uploaded it to his YouTube channel. So,
oh, okay.
But the whole show was actually really good. So, I will say that.
And apparently next week, pretty goddamn good card too.
Hey
man, they're like calm down, bro.
It's like they got pissed that like from the
they didn't win anything. They didn't
or something. But yeah.
Oh, where'd he go?
I don't know.
He disappeared.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Shania disappeared. I don't think he realizes it. But what was I gonna say? Shit. Oh yeah. Also, Sakura Genesis was this weekend.
Yeah.
It was like this weekend was packed.
That was a good show. Genesis was a good show. But I mean, the Windy City Right's going to be probably a better show.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say when people were talking when like the AEW is bad for New Japan, this show that they're getting ready to put on is largely helped by AEW. So I don't know how you can.
You don't think Mox is winning that belt?
I didn't. But now I'm starting to think that.
Here's the thing. I think honestly, I don't know. I think it's fine if he can't be a champion that's never there though. Tony Khan has got to let him go over there. Yeah, I mean, I think he will, but he can't be a champion that's never there because we've had that before and it's been bad. I love Jay White, but one of the worst title reigns in the history of that company is because he never was there. You know what I mean? So we can't have it. But if he wins, the only way I will accept it is if he drops it to Shota and do not wait till Wrestle Kingdom to do it, in my opinion. Like I feel like Mox should not be the champion for like the entire year. That's kind of crazy.
You have him win and then drop it at
like Dominion or something like that?
Not even Dominion. You have him drop it at Forbidden Door.
I don't think they would do that just because I think if you're going to do that title change, they're going to want to have Mox lose it in Japan, probably. At least I would think.
And I think it's fine. Like if you saw the Yota Tsuji match, and I did like it. Don't get me wrong, I did like it.
It's just long,
but it was long. But it was long to Naito's benefit because I don't think he can do those sprints anymore. Man is physically kind of out. You know what I mean? He's kind of
shot.
Yeah, his knees are done. It was a whole lot of like, let me chill for a minute. I'm not gonna say the crowd was dead. It was just too long because there was so many times they do something, he chill. Put in a headlock because I need to rest for a literal rest hold. You know what I mean?
So here's a question about that. Is going to Japan the best thing Jack Perry could have ever done?
Oh, he is so fucking awesome now. He is so fucking awesome. Look, I talked shit about him joining the House of Torture. That was the right move. These people know how to do stuff better than me. I should probably shut the fuck up. This motherfucker have y'all seen his promos? They are
not what he was doing. They are not what he was doing in AEW.
He is so awesome. And like the heat that he gets, because those people already hate Evil. And the heat that them motherfuckers get together, like, bro, oh my God, I cannot wait for him to come back here. I cannot wait. I can't believe I'm saying that about the Jungle Boy. He's so great, man. He's so great. It's so perfect. I love it. For that aspect alone, this partnership is awesome because we got fucking Jack Perry in New Japan. Just for that alone, it's fucking amazing.
One more thing about, or I guess two things about Mox and Naito. I think the fact that Mox has a decent chance of winning, I think adds to that match a lot because it just makes it a little bit more unpredictable. And then an interesting fact that Chris Samsa shared on Twitter today. John Moxley, so they're in the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. John Moxley has never lost a match in that building.
Oh, you know Walker Stewart's gonna bring that up. Mm-hmm. You know, in this building, John, he's amazing too. I like him a lot. That boy is like another prodigy, man. Another prodigy. He's fucking great, man. He just needs to learn who everyone is, but he's great because he doesn't know everyone. You can tell before he got the job, he didn't watch much New Japan. You can tell.
Well, an hour and 20 minutes into this, I guess it's time to finally talk about WrestleMania.
I want to talk about one more show.
Oh my god!
I want to talk about the.
Oh, we gotta
action
talk
show.
about Dean. We gotta talk
about that
You
show.
can't do this podcast and not talk about Dean. You're talking about a guy
great.
that comes from the fucking DVR era.
And that show was great. Like, I loved this show because even the first half, which wasn't great, but they put on a good indie show. That first half of which was the action people. I didn't love all of it, but I thought it was a good little indie like thing. And then you get to the second half of that show, and that second half of the show is just like so good.
That dog collar match is so wild.
Yeah.
That match is so wild. That was honestly the tone that they were going for that unpredictable main event in night 2 of that shit we're talking about. That's the tone that dog collar match. It seemed so unsafe and scary for everybody there, and it was awesome. It was awesome. That's how you showcase your promotion for people that have never seen it before. GCW. That's how you do it.
Yeah, because you had like, and here's the thing. This is the not formatted like this, but this is what we talk about West Coast Pro a lot. This is how they do it too, where they intermingle like the big names that they bring in with the stuff that they have going on in their promotion, and it works. And I wish more, like even WrestleMania weekend, I wish we got more of this kind of this way. Like, like the Slim J match was really good.
That match was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great match.
That was, even the Warhorse match was much better than I thought it was.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. It's a Warhorse match I didn't hate.
Right.
It, so.
I mean, I know he's not doing the same gimmick, but it's still like I didn't hate it. So everything was like really good. It was really fun. So yeah.
And if you talk to some people, or at least based on some people who I know that have seen more of Mad Dog Connolly, they've said that wasn't even his best dog collar match this year. So I guess
That's
he had
crazy.
one in St. Louis Anarchy.
That gets me hyped.
I think it was against one called Manders in St. Louis Anarchy, and I think it's on YouTube.
That
So
wouldn't shock me if those two had just a crazy dog collar match, honestly.
And I thought the main event of the Dean show was good. I covered Timothy Thatcher's Evolve title reign for two different publications, because I was VOW, then I was also doing stuff for Fighting Spirit magazine, and it's all opponent dependent with them. And I thought this was good. So I haven't watched a ton of Daniel Makabe, but
I liked this far more than I usually like Thatcher matches. I usually just don't give a shit about, and I like this type of matches he does, and they're still boring as shit because they're just like there's no like intensity to them half the time. So it's just move, and it's like So, but yeah, no, everyone should go watch this show, because hopefully, if enough people go watch this show, other people will get smart and book shit like this. So,
because this is one of the most this is probably the most well received show, maybe of the entire weekend. So hey, this is how you do it, guys.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
Just okay. I guess we should start actually talking about.
God damn it! Now I'm not gonna have fun. I was having fun for an hour and 40 minutes. Now it's time for me to get pissed off.
Especially because we got to talk about night 1 first.
Jesus
so that
Christ,
doesn't help.
Yeah.
We opened with Hunter coming out to the ring and stroking himself. Welcoming everyone to WrestleMania, to a new era, which he didn't say, but a lot of people called it the Paul Levesque era.
Well, apparently
he was coming out, Michael
apparently
Cole.
They can't
call this the Paul Levesque era.
Apparently they can't call it the other thing. So,
what, the Renaissance era?
They can't call it the Renaissance era. Apparently.
I mean,
somebody beat them to the trademark.
I mean, the Renaissance era is kind of a cell phone, because doesn't that just admit that what came before sucked?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But no one's going to talk about that. Just like no one talks about the fact that, yay, Triple H took over and now it's better. Well, you guys all said that it was fine.
That's always been my thing, Josh. That's always been you people that told me you're being too hard on this, Mark Haim. You're liars. You're all liars. I wish you would just admit that shit was terrible. Can you just admit that you were lying? Can that just that if you do that, I'm fine. But because I was called crazy for the longest.
So let's talk about this. I did not like this night. I thought this night was not good.
I didn't like the other night either, but I didn't like this night either.
Yeah, this was far worse than night 2. I'm wondering how much of it was, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just asking. Was the weather? Was that it was so cold? If that was why
you heard it in the crowd. You definitely heard it in the crowd because when it was 20 degrees warmer, night 2 was way hotter.
Yeah. But even with that, I don't like. It was just.
I'm not giving them no pass. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
I'm just saying that I'm wondering if that was part of it because, but it was still like everything was just flat. Everything was flat.
Look, the crowd could have been more active. That Uso match still would have been an atrocity.
Oh, that was a
Yeah.
shitty match. That was a shitty match.
I can't wait to get
It sucked.
Yeah.
fucking Dave. And that shows.
So Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley.
This is a good match. It's good.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
was
It's a good
disappointed.
match.
I like this.
I was disappointed in it.
That's
I was
it.
expecting more.
I was expecting
too.
more too, but
Good.
this was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I've seen people say match of the year candidate because the
Oh.
bar's in hell. Because the bar is staying in hell. It's a good match, y'all. Y'all cannot sit here and
It
tell
wasn't
me
even close. It wouldn't even be closest to the best women's match of the weekend.
the fucking last year, the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair match, what some people said was like a match of the year candidate. I see it. I get it. I see
I gave
it.
that one 5. I did
He
not give this one
gave
5.
5. I didn't go down.
I didn't give that one
I
5.
see it. I get it. This one, you cannot tell me this had the same intensity, the same type of work, the same pop, the same story. You cannot. This felt like a very good main event to Monday Night Raw. Can we calm down, man? Can we?
Yes,
I
exactly.
like Becky. I like Rhea. This was good. That is it. Can we just do that? That's it.
Yeah, we can.
And then the finish, was better in their head than it came off. It like she calmly placed her on the top turnbuckle and then hit a riptide. Like, what is this, man? What?
Okay.
God, y'all go ahead. I'm sorry.
That
Might happen a few times.
You said everything.
Hate this company.
I
hate this company, man.
It was very much a like I expected this to be like elite level match because I really thought, and it just never got there. I don't know. Maybe Becky doesn't have that in her anymore. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe maybe we just don't see it. Maybe has the same issues that Bayley has, but we'll get to that later.
Something that I saw somebody bring up is that Becky is not naturally athletic, but they also compared her to like, I forget that this was like Joe and Rich from the Flagship. I could be wrong, but comparing her basically to like CM Punk, where like neither of them are naturally athletic, but they have enough dedication to sort of make up for that. If that makes any sense.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good comp. Yeah. I never really thought about that. Yeah, it's good.
But anyways, it was good. Then we had the ladder match.
Yeah,
I thought I guess you could call it the first fall, the first reach down, how you want to word it. That
The
one
first
was
reach down.
that was like one of the most boring ladder matches I've ever seen, and then the second one they picked it up quite a bit.
Yeah, I thought I had a lot of fun with this, honestly. And look, I'm never gonna come on here and say anything bad about R-Truth. R-Truth, he pops me, man. I think he's one of the greatest comedy wrestlers to ever live, bro. He is genuinely funny. He's genuinely funny, and I was glad to see him get that moment. That was cool. And he like 50 something.
Yeah,
he's in his 50s.
Yeah, massive injury, and then got one of the loudest pops of the whole weekend from that fan base. So.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's who they wanted to win at least one of those titles. I think this was a good way to get the titles separated.
Yeah.
I think that was a good thing. I agree. I think that it was a WWE ladder match. That's the way I would say it, which is I'm always like, to me, WWE ladder matches are the ladder matches when people complain about ladder matches. or what they're thinking of, and then when they see something that's not a WWE ladder match, they're like, oh, maybe I still do maybe like ladder matches a little bit. So,
like, yeah, I do like that. They were just going for the belts. I like that concept because so many people just set up these elaborate spots and you know what's coming. I appreciated that.
Yeah,
Now,
this had
too much about this ladder match.
this had its moments, but it certainly was no like Young Bucks ladder match.
Of
No,
course
Like,
not.
those are another level. Those are another level.
Of course not. But it was fun, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like that. R-Truth winning those titles. I get why the fans sometimes feel the magic of WrestleMania. I get it because I really did in that moment. I'm not. I was like, yeah, I was clapping. I was into it. So what? I'm a softie sometimes. So what?
Can I come in with some breaking news?
sure.
What?
So apparently, if you're familiar with Kazusada Higuchi from DDT, apparently he has challenged Chris Hero to a match at that West Coast Pro show that they're doing, the Pro Wrest mixtape. So if you're into Chris Hero versus Kazusada Higuchi, so
Boy, if you've never seen that match he had with Takeshita last year, go out of your way to do that, man. Like he's fucking amazing, man.
Are you talking
and that show is next week or this coming weekend, I think, in Los Angeles. So
And I got nothing to do, so I know what I'm doing.
There you go.
So after that, we had a extremely boring tag match with Rey Mysterio and the replacement of Andrade. They took out. Was they ever said why they took out Andrade? I mean,
You mean
they took out Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee?
Dragon
I mean,
Lee,
they took
yeah.
out Dragon Lee and added Andrade. I don't think they did. Maybe just to shut people up for saying they weren't doing anything with Andrade.
against Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio? I thought this match was boring as fuck.
Okay. I haven't talked about this yet. The commentary on this fucking show.
Oh god.
So they hyped this up as a lucha. What did they say? Lucha, some sort of lucha match. I had just watched CMLL the night before.
yeah.
So I'm watching this, and I'm like, I saw, like, not everything on that show was great. This was not a lucha match. This was a WWE kind of high-flyy match.
It was a second hour. It was a second hour Raw match.
Yes, this was not good. This was. I'm just like, what are we doing here?
What highlighted everything I hate about this company and why I can't get with the presentation. It just doesn't like what people like about this company. It just doesn't compute up here. Like it just doesn't. The thing that I hated the most about it, though, there was a spot in this match where the guy, I don't know his name. I don't know. They all run together. That does the catapult gimmick thing.
Oh yeah,
That's DJZ.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. You're right. Yeah, he looked in this motherfucker looked in the camera and said, "Hey guys, let's make a WrestleMania moment." What? Just do the move. Like this, like that moment encapsulates everything I just don't like about this company. Like the way they do things, it doesn't.
And I was gonna say this when we started talking, but one of the things that both nights that I actually thought they did really well is I felt this was like, we watched the Royal Rumble, we watched the Backlash. This was so much better paced than those two shit. Like, I didn't feel like the slog on either nights that I felt with those two matches at like nearly at all. Like, there was still like too much crap, but
You go the main event of this show, and you said there was no slog.
no, but I'm saying like for the whole show, not including
Josh, we had to wait 15 minutes between matches every time a match was over.
I understand.
This was a slog. By the way,
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it as much as the other two. I don't know why, but I did.
You're just used to it when you watch these fucking shows. But I'm gonna talk about it because this is the first one I've watched live in a while. What is this bullshit with the? If you pay for I'm just finding out about this.
Oh yeah.
If you pay for Peacock Plus,
you get a
or whatever
video
the fuck it is,
package premium.
you pay for a video package instead of a commercial. That's like going to the movies, watching a movie you've been waiting for, and in the middle of the movie, because you paid an extra tier in the movie, you get a trailer to the movie that you're currently watching. That's stupid. How is that okay? How is like how do people just accept this?
It's what Universal wants.
Wrong.
It's what NBC Universal wants. It's what NBC Universal wants.
Oh my god, I hate this shit. I hate this
I'll-
shit. Everything on this show, like everything about just the way they do.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just
don't
used
like.
to it now, but I didn't feel it. It didn't bug me as much. I still don't like it. Don't get me wrong, and I wish,
Oh,
but it didn't bother. Didn't bother me as much.
I will say that ever since Lee Fitting replaced Kevin Dunn, I have found the shows a lot more tolerable visually, and they've introduced a lot more cool camera angles. One weird thing I did notice is that the guy that had the camera on his shoulder that was towards the ramp, he was still doing the zooming with everything, and then the guy that was by the announcer table wasn't. So it's like there's still some Kevin Dunn people there, so you got like a little tiny bit of it, but on the other side, they would cut the other guy, and he would just fucking film, and it's like, all right, we're almost there. Give it another 6
But
months.
yes,
It'll
the-
completely
You're
clean
probably
out.
watching this shit back like, hey, who's that asshole on the ramp? Like, who the fuck is that? Guys getting fired immediately.
But
Stop.
But the commentary, I want to get back to it. So bad both nights. Just absolutely just.
What are you talking
shit.
about, Cole?
Who's
I'm
the,
talking
That's
about
our
all
tribal
of them.
trees.
I'm talking about all
Stand up,
three of
Cole.
them.
Put
I'm
up your
talking
one.
about all
Put up your ones,
three of them.
Cole.
who's the worst of the three? Who do you think is
Pat.
the worst? You think Pat?
Pat.
It's Pat.
Yeah.
I can't stand Corey Graves either.
I mean, they're all bad. It's just like okay, if it's truly a new era, if the whole Vince shit is gone, can we get rid of all of the bullshit with the commentary, because it's still
No.
horrible.
That
Yeah.
was Stephanie. That wasn't Vince. That was Stephanie.
That's
Oh,
fucking
Michael
horrible.
Cole has sucked in this role for 30 years. But the thing is, I know he can be a good commentator. Every time I watch, because sometimes I just watch like some of the top matches from the what's called the UK tournament, and I just hear Michael Cole. It's like a totally different guy. Just let him do that. Why? What is this? What is this, man? I don't.
There's a lot of times he feels forced, and I thought after the main event of night 2, which we'll get to, I felt he felt the most forced. That was that.
I got a lot to say.
Oh, Sean. Oh, Sean. If you think I've read it before, if y'all think I've been mad on this show before, you just wait till we get to all of that.
We got
Jesus
something.
Christ.
We got something that's rant worthy right now. When Jey Uso defeated Jimmy Uso by pinfall. Okay, I should have said 1.5 stars. I don't know. I was like a delirium, and I said 2.25. Maybe 1.25 stars be generous. Like the Supercard.
Now this was a dud. To me,
Supercard.
this was a dud.
Supercard.
This is the
Okay.
match that all of the fucking people that have never seen the Young Bucks wrestle think they do. They
Yeah.
think they just do this. They just think this is the Young Bucks. And can we be honest? As a separate units, these dudes suck. Like they
Yes.
stink, right? Like as
Yeah.
singles, especially Jimmy. Jimmy is like
He's
horrible. You know what I mean? Like they to apart they stink. This match sucked. And it was funny because my girlfriend watched this. She hated the yeet stuff. She was so confused the whole time. She was complaining. And she was
I cannot believe how over that's gotten.
it's so
That's
weird,
just
right?
fine
Like,
to me. Yeah.
like what is this? Is this the early like 2010s? Like she was mad. She was like, why are they saying something that hasn't been cool in like a decade? And then she was like, what's this no yeet shit? What is the commentary talking about? She was like, I see why we never watched this. She was so mad. She was like, this is so bad. This is what these people watch every week. Like she was as confused as I was. Like she was so angry.
This match encapsulated like all the bad things with WWE. You had the over the top drama, like even for wrestling.
He's my twin brother, man.
Yeah. You
He's
had
my twin,
you had them
man.
doing the
Bloodline community theater.
Yes, in the match, you had them then spamming moves. Which, can we talk about that a little bit? The fact that, especially on night 2, you have all of these people that go, "Oh, AEW," and all of these other promotions. They don't tell stories. It's all just move. What the fuck was this?
Oh,
It was
we
just-
talk about that. When we talk about that opener all night too. But listen,
This was spam, like they were spamming moves like crazy, and I was just like, and it wasn't even like good. It was just like, what is this? It was,
and then the crowd was dead for all of it. I thought y'all cared about this. I thought Jey Uso was this main event guy.
Main event
Well,
Jey.
Yeah, main event Jey. Honestly, if we want to be real, they were mostly dead until the main event of night 2 for this entire weekend.
Well,
Like,
that's what I was like. How much of that was the weather, though? I mean, to be kind of fair.
Stop it, Josh. Stop it. Stop it.
Just saying.
Fucking weather, man. I'm going to football games in fucking 20-degree weather, and the
hey.
crowd is nuts. So if you care, if you really care like you say you do,
go watch that Chiefs game that was on Peacock. That was that first round playoff game that was negative whatever. The crowd was hot for that.
Crowd was nuts. So if y'all care like y'all say y'all do, y'all motherfuckers don't actually like this. Y'all don't. I really believe they don't actually like this. I just think that they like the fact that it's a little bit better, and I grew up with it. I don't think you actually like, because when the matches start, you just sit there. You just sit there. If you like this, why you just sitting there? I don't understand. I don't get it, man.
It's not for us. It's not for us.
Well, then we had Sean. You got anything to say about that match before I cut you off?
No, it was terrible.
Yep.
That's it.
We had Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi defeating Damage Control. Why the fuck couldn't Jade Cargill do this every single week for 6 months?
Because they don't trust her. Because
especially after Monday. You know how many times she could do that squash?
Yeah.
She could have had done 40 of them by now.
Because then you're booking like Tony. And
I was just about to say that.
Then you're booking like Tony.
She needed all this training, but essentially you guys are doing the same shit that Tony did.
Right.
And honestly, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, because honestly,
the way she should be booked.
The way Tony Khan booked her is how you should book her. And it would actually behoove you guys more, because that's what your audience wants to see. Like, they want to see her.
Like, she was the most over person in this match, bar none. People were begging for her to get into the match. I do think that the entrance was not.
See, I liked it, man. I'm like the only person in the world that liked it.
I think you're the only person. Like, I liked the idea of it, right? But then it just was like they needed to. Like, this was a part where you could have been like, okay, we can do like a 15-minute entrance, because that's what it felt like it should have been, and not whatever we got. To me,
I agree with that.
Like it didn't need to be like them all getting their music for like 10 seconds. That was. It would have
been cool if they all would have did something cool, and then like,
is Jim in here? Is Jim in the chat? Because we all need to like yell at him about screaming about
Jade Cargill's hair. She's had that hair a bunch, and that's like the hairstyle that I see every time I go to a homecoming game at a historical black college.
And the thing is, I would much rather her have that than look like the other two, which is what she would have looked like. I mean,
there he is. There he is.
Like, not okay. Like, yeah, but no, I was not like. It was really weird watching, because you could tell that the fans were so much more into Jade than they were anyone else in this match, and we've all heard that, oh, she can't work. Yeah, well, guess what? She can't work at all.
You just made it patently obvious that you've either never dated a black woman, interacted with black women, you like in a damn sheltered household where you just live in white culture and you don't pay attention to nothing else goes around you. That's the problem is. That's what the problem was, Jim.
Couldn't believe you said that.
Plus, she had that hair multiple times on AEW. Jesus.
Yes. But anyways, but no, yeah, I thought the match served its purpose because it made Jade look good, but it was just a match.
But she can do that all the time, because they put some of these women on TV that are really terrible. And look, man, we all know Jade has like fucking limitations, but she's so much better than a lot of these women they put on TV, man.
You know who else has limitations? Goldberg. Goldberg had limitations too, and there you go. And she, to me, she has everything that Goldberg had, and then more, in a lot of ways, because she can talk.
She actually talk. She can actually talk.
Goldberg was not the best on promos. She can talk.
And I'm gonna sound misogynistic as hell, but I didn't know a single woman that thought Goldberg was attractive There's a lot of men that think Jade Cargill's
a lot
attractive.
of women too.
There's a lot of women, exactly. A lot of women, exactly.
But anyways, okay.
You got anything to say about that, Sean? For
Not really. It was booked pretty much exactly how you should book it. Served its purpose, but it wasn't very good.
All right, you're almost giver. That's an inside joke that you don't get. After this, we had Sami Zayn and Gunther. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting a little bit more. It was great, but I was expecting a little bit more.
I didn't think it was great.
I
I thought it was really good. I thought it was really
Yeah,
good. I didn't
really
think
good.
it was great.
Not
I
great.
thought I don't think it got to that level. Now the Brainbuster, I absolutely like fucking
Yeah, that was
love
great.
that.
That was
Wasn't
great.
it Pat McAfee
Mhm.
called it though?
I think that was Cole.
Yeah. Good on him. Good on him. I give him that. That was good.
It wasn't Cole.
Oh,
It definitely wasn't.
it sounded like Cole to me when I watched it.
But the playing to Sammy's wife just
And
I was not
you
about that.
you know I'm the sucker that loves shit like that. I love that type of shit. But I think that like
They overdid it.
Goku.
that. But here's the thing. One of my favorite matches of all time: Will Ospreay, Michael Oku. The whole thing is that. I think there is a way to do it. I just think, and this is a knock to Gunther, to be honest. I thought his offense was kind of boring, like during all that. Like it was just like it didn't have the pop it usually does, and it seemed very like,
you know what?
most time he's just been Walter in the WWE. That seemed like everything we thought Walter in the WWE would be, like during that whole, you know what I mean? And
Here's
that was
instead of them being in the middle of the ring and doing that, wouldn't it have been better if they were at that corner?
Oh yeah.
She was at.
He's
And
like,
him just-
he's right there. He's like,
And
yeah.
he's right there and just chopping the shit out of Sammy.
Yeah.
And then looking at her and going, "Is this your man? Is this your man?" And then chopping him again, and then I think that would have been better than him just beating on him in the middle of the ring.
Y'all know I love that shit. I'm a sicko, man. I like to beat him up in front of your significant other. Fuck him up. I love all that. I love it, man.
To me, that would have been better. But
Yeah.
And then the finish was a little weird too, because like Sammy hulked up, like it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like it was
hmm
like, who are you, Hogan? Like it came like him firing up literally came out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even teased. He just started to get up. Okay. And Gunther just watched him get up.
Yep.
Which was weird.
so you think Gunther lost up? You think he's gonna? Think they have other things?
One would hope. One would hope.
Well, we're not going to know till the draft because it sounds like Cody's. Well, we don't know which belt's going where.
We
yet,
don't
do
know
we?
what's
Yeah.
going on.
Hey,
We'll get into that too. We'll get into that too.
What if he just wins the U.S. title and does the same reign he had with the- You know how hard I come on here and laugh?
Booker of the year. Booker of the year.
Oh,
Although-
Sarah.
Although,
Sarah.
Gunther versus Logan Paul could be something.
Oh,
God.
listen here.
We'll get into Logan Paul.
Oh.
We'll get into Logan Paul.
Hey, look, that might be
I was
the
right,
best
goddamn
match
it.
they could put on. Gunther versus Logan Paul. Could you imagine how good that'd be?
Everybody
Imagine
wants to
saying
see him
that.
get shit to
Imagine,
beat
think
out
about
of
what
him.
just came out of your mouth, Markeem. Think about what just came out
Yeah,
of
that's
your mouth.
great. That's great. I'm looking forward to Gunther versus Logan Paul. What the hell? Oh man,
Anyways,
the
then
wrestler's crazy.
in 44 minutes and
God.
35 seconds, we had the bloodline of The Rock and Roman Reigns defeating Cody Rhodes and Seth frickin' Rollins. Sorry, you have to say that every time you say Seth frickin' Rollins. You have to say Seth frickin' Rollins. You can't just say Seth Rollins. You have frickin'. So I didn't see this show live, so I was very thankful. I made it about 10 minutes in, and then when they started walking and brawling, I had to fast forward, and they kept walking and brawling, and then they kept walking and brawling, and then they kept walking and brawling, and then they kept walking and brawling.
This is
and then they kept
what I
walking and brawling,
tweeted out.
and
This
then
is
they
one
kept
of the
walking and
worst
brawling,
main events
and then they
in
kept walking and
WWE
brawling,
history.
and then
Yeah.
they kept walking and
Mhm.
brawling.
Was at this
and then they
point-
kept walking and brawling, and then they 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 kept walking and brawling, and they eventually got back to the ring and did a finish. But yeah, I thought, this was boring as shit.
Up
This
until
was
like the last
this was
Yeah,
on
it's
its
not
way
good.
being
Last
like the
10
worst
minutes.
WrestleMania main event like ever. It was on its way to being that. It really was. It was so.
And then the last 10 minutes, and what did they do the last 10 minutes? They spammed moves again.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what we got.
And then the fucking bell pop that didn't happen. They just stood
Yes.
there like
Yeah.
geeks.
Mm-hmm.
They were waiting
this is
for
awkward
it.
chant.
Yeah, it was very strange.
The crowd was also waiting on the bullshit. Like, just do the bullshit.
Yeah.
That is the risk you run with these Roman matches, man. We'll talk more about it in night 2. Because I got so much to say about it.
I legitimately think this match could have been great if they cut 20 minutes off of it. Maybe 25.
Maybe
about,
if
about 15 minutes to the same story. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rock looked good. Like, The Rock looked good.
Well,
Yeah,
all
he
he
could've
was
did
doing was walking and brawling.
This was like, here's the thing. I was having WrestleMania 25 flashbacks watching this match, and that was not okay. Like that main event.
That's a hot take. That's an awful hot take, sir.
I don't care. That's what I was like. What the? Wow, this is like I literally was going. Paul, why did you book this shit again? It did not work at WrestleMania 25.
So yeah. It's like, yeah, this is your era, all right. No,
Well,
should have ended.
To be fair, you know, when it comes to like the Rock stuff, Paul's probably doesn't have a big hand in that.
True. I'm
He
just
has
saying.
no hand in that
No,
shot.
yeah, none.
I am traumatized from that match, being there live and watching that boring ass match live at WrestleMania 25. That
Oh, you
I
should
will-
have been there
I
for
will say-
32.
I will say
That was
like,
bad too.
The Rock's entrance and his
Oh,
character
it's
stuff.
incredible.
His
incredible.
character
yeah.
stuff in the match.
yeah,
was
we should
awesome.
talk about that entrance.
Like when he pointed at the referee, he was like, "You count your fucking fire." And I was like, "Man, this is the coolest motherfucker on earth, right now."
Yeah.
I like this guy, man.
What did you got? Okay, let me ask you this. What did you think about the fact that he had that entrance, right? Which was like, that was Undertaker Muta scale entrance. And then Roman has to come out
Just
after
has
him
his
with
regular
like a
fucking
basic-
entrance.
with just like a. I was like,
Oh,
what is
man.
this? But yeah.
He looked so small compared to the Rock.
Yeah.
Like he looked so small. It
Literally.
was funny because my
Yeah.
girlfriend, this is where she went to sleep because she was like, "I can't do it. Like I've done enough." Because she saw what time it was, and she was like, "About what time is this show going in?" I was like, "Probably 11 o'clock." She was like, "Oh my god, they're gonna go out. I'm going to bed." That's what she said. So right,
I
when
thought
it
it was going
started-
to end by 11 o'clock. And I was
yeah,
wrong.
like right when it started, she was like, "He's the champ." Like, 'cause she don't watch. She was like, "Is The Rock the champ?" I was like, "No." She was like, "Why does he have a belt? Who's this other dude?" I was like, "It's The Rock. This is the champion." And then she was like, "You sure? Like he's the champ? Like the champion? Like tomorrow night, that's gonna be?" I was like, "Yeah." I feel like you lying to me. That's. I was like, "No, he's the champ." And then she was like, "He looks so small in every way compared to The Rock." I was like, "Yeah, man." She's like, "He didn't even get a special fire or none of that stuff." That shit was funny. And it says, "I'm going to bed. You have fun with this." And I did not have fun. Did not have fun.
Yes, but that one segment on SmackDown where he acknowledged Roman, and then other than that, you know, The Rock's just outshined him.
In
So
every
much.
way. Every
Yeah.
step of this.
Mhm.
Okay, so I guess we go to
Night 2.
the greatest WrestleMania of all time, according to some people.
All right.
Well, those people
The-
are idiots.
The actual highlight for me during WrestleMania is probably the second best thing the WWE did all weekend was letting the War and Treaty do God Bless America. Huge fan of their work. Love that group. Wife and husband country band. They make awesome music and they fucking killed it. So that's literally that. Like, I'm not even being
Yeah, that was
facetious.
good.
That's literally
That was
the highlight of WrestleMania for me.
Like, I think this was good. I don't even think it was better than night 1 of last year. Like this
It was
night.
nowhere
That's the
near
thing.
No.
Josh. It
No,
was nowhere
like
near
that's what I don't get. I'm like, we just last year we had like a legitimate match, like show of the year last year, like contender at least. And then you're gonna say this which had just a lot of like good stuff on it. I mean, even if you thought the main event was like spectacular, it was like kind of the only thing spectacular on the show. So I don't kind of
Not if you ask these WWE fans. They love that
we'll get
opener.
into it. We'll get
They
into
love
it.
that opener. Now, let's talk about the creator of the Women's Revolution, Stephanie McMahon.
Wait. Not Stephanie McMahon. It's corporate officer number 3.
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man. That was good.
We'll get into that too. I got a long rant about that when we get to the end of this.
That whole thing was weird, and then the crowd just popped, and I'm like, y'all don't know what's going on in the news right now. Like
They don't. These same people popped for Vince. Same people popped for Vince.
Like the whole crowd popped, and I'm like, y'all don't.
These people if Brock Lesnar showed up, they would all go ape shit for Brock Lesnar.
No, they like, okay, that's another thing I want to talk about. As much as I love Paul's speech, he bought up Brock Lesnar. He even bought up, I was the advocate for Brock Lesnar. He did the whole thing, and the whole crowd did it with him, and it was weird. It was weird.
But we'll get to that. Okay.
But I expected Paul don't give a fuck. Like, Paul don't say it. I expected that, but yeah.
Anyways, opening up, we had Drew McIntyre defeating Seth Rollins. I would have had, considering what they did, I would have had him pin him on Claymore number 1, not Claymore number 4 10 minutes later.
Also, Seth Rollins is the most overrated wrestler on planet Earth. To those people, he is Will Ospreay, Kazuhiko Nakajima.
He had the work rate title. Now,
I
want to see all of these
worker guy.
I want to see all these work rate matches he had while he had that title.
And I'm glad you said that. When all of these fans did was say all of Roman matches are just him spamming moves and interference. Guess what this was? This match you guys are telling great. Spamming moves and interference from CM Punk, even though he didn't interfere, but still. It's the same shit. It's the same. So how is it that this is the work rate title? Seth is the worker, but Roman bad, Seth good. When I think Roman's matches actually peak higher than this fucking bozo.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
I would agree with that.
This motherfucker is so overrated, bro. And maybe it's the environment. Maybe they just see athlete and they go, "Oh man, he's athletic because he has the look and the move set of a great wrestler." But the matches aren't great. The matches are not great. There's not been a single time where I'm like, man, Seth Rollins put on one of their best matches of the year. Not since like 2015 in that 3-way with like Brock Lesnar and who was it? John Cena. Not since like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jesus, overrated, bro. Overrated. So overrated.
But yeah, a lot of spamming. Then you have the cash in, which
lets you know what they think of that title.
Yeah.
Lets you know right there. That stupid money.
I will say this.
Thing,
I did see Priest's interview during the press conference. He did do a really good job, and really he put the title over more than WWE ever will. But he did do a really good job, and you could tell that I wish they would let him be more of that guy than whatever.
Well, he is really good, Josh. He's really good. We've known that for years,
for a long time.
Yeah, we've known that for a while. The other thing that I also didn't like about the fact that Money in the Bank exists, but the cash in was so telegraphed. Everybody knew it was coming. Everybody knew it was coming. Soon as fucking CM Punk got up and jumped up, I was like, okay, he's about to get cashed in on.
Here we go.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead.
Honestly, I thought Seth and Drew itself, I didn't think it was great, but I did enjoy it. It sort of with the move spamming out. Maybe this is a bad comparison, but I thought it reminded me of like a Brock Lesnar match, but without all the stuff that comes with Brock Lesnar when he does it. Didn't have that, specialness or element of danger with Brock like throwing people around. But like I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match, but wasn't great. Certainly.
I thought it was very good, but it didn't get to that that level.
Well, Sean, it was good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it was a good match.
He's just overrated. But I did like it.
So I fast forwarded through this Philadelphia street fight with Bully.
Oh, you did the right thing.
You missed it. No, you missed Snoop Dogg. You missed the best thing about it.
Yeah, that's true. That was the only thing good about this match. Was which it shows even like my point about the commentary was that Snoop Dogg going out there and just being a
Hilarious, bro.
goof
Hilarious.
was better than them doing their shtick, right? I mean, it just was like the commentary was so bad. I just wanted, like, my ears were bleeding.
And also, can we talk about that shield they got the fucking guest referee, the goddamn so stop it. Stop telling me this man is he's just calling it like he sees it. No, he's in their pocket too. Like, come on, man. That fucking bozo, man. Jesus Christ. And you talking to a diehard fan of Bubba Ray Devon Dudley in 1998 and 1997. Fuck him though. Fuck him.
But how much is he? Would he fall into the Tony wouldn't give him a job category? So he's pissed.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
He
he
was in ROH when it went down.
So
you're right. Yeah. Okay, yeah, y'all motherfuckers right. Yeah, y'all.
And he's a large part of the reason why ROH was where it was at.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this match was my worst match of the weekend, personally, from everything that I've seen.
Worse than the fight with Honor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is worse.
I don't know about that.
What was longer? What was
Fight
the Dalton
Without
Castle
Honor.
match?
Fight Without Honor. Yeah. Fight Without Honor was longer. Yeah.
They both suck.
yeah, this wasn't even 10 minutes.
We are comparing rotten food to fecal matter. Like, that's what we're doing right now. They both
Speaking
suck.
of rotten food, LA Knight beat AJ Styles by pinfall in 12 minutes and 25 seconds.
At least we got like a glimpse of old AJ Styles in this match.
That shit was funny. My boy Charlie on Twitter, he had the best tweet. He was like, "Man, LA Knight has finally reached the 3.5 star threshold." That shit was funny. And I had he did it better than me, but I was like, "Man, the best match of LA Knight's life, 3.25 stars." I thought it was good. I thought it was
good.
I like this.
I hate that the AJ's been death rebelled. It's terrible.
Oh yeah,
music is so
that
bad.
sucked.
They're so bad. They are so bad. Like I got this. Like, what? They've only had 3 composers. Jim Johnston did it forever. Then CFO,
right.
And these guys are terrible.
Yeah, they are.
Like, especially the Royal Rumble, you notice it the most, where every single theme sounds the same, where you have no idea who's coming out. It's like da 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 da. Oh fuck! We didn't even mention Rhea's horrible entrance. I forgot about that. How bad that
the
band
live
did it
band.
live.
The live
Oh my
band.
god! But yeah, it's just like
And then her singing along with it, which was just like not natural at all. It was like
I did not even know that band was from Scranton, so they're technically local to me.
You should go catch a live show, Sean.
No, there's a better band from this area anyway.
What are you talking about?
Breaking Benjamin.
Oh god.
That's the music I like. So
okay, but where are we at? Here. LA Knight. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we got glimpses of old AJ. So
this ain't worth spending time on. Let's just move on. This is not worth spending time on.
It was pretty good.
All right. Logan Paul beat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I'm still hating.
I
why are you hating?
I actually love this match. This was a whole lot of fun.
This was fun. It wasn't great.
I think that the whole thing with the Prime gimmick though, we don't need to do it again next year.
Yeah,
we don't need. It's diminishing returns. KSI, like I was talking to my nephew because he's the one that's like in tune with these fucking streamers, and I was like, he saw KSI last year. He was like, "Oh my god, KSI, this is crazy." And then I asked him because he didn't watch it with me this year. I was like, "Who is Astro Speed?" And he was like, "I know who he is." I was like, "Is he more famous than KSI?" No, not even close, Mark. And that's all I needed to know. Every year it's just gonna be diminishing returns, so that's enough. Let's not.
Can we talk about the fact that Logan Paul is better than like 90% of this roster?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that, please?
He is amazing. He is. I'm sorry, Chase. He is amazing. He is
like
good.
He gets it. He gets all the little like
yeah
shit That's
Like
the thing.
the character stuff, so great.
Like all the stuff that we were told that Randy Orton gets, and all the stuff that we're supposed to like about Randy Orton, Paul gets, and is better at it, and isn't boring as shit half the time. So,
and he's clearly shown that the path to becoming a great wrestler in WWE is to become a celebrity and then get famous enough that the WWE will notice you, and then you could get special training instead of spending all your time at the PC blowing your ACL every 6 months.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Him and Bad Bunny, if we really being honest, Bad Bunny is better than a lot of these people they have too. So,
I mean, look, they could book Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny, and it would be one of the biggest matches they could do, and it would probably be good.
Probably be good, yeah. Probably. They should do it. They should do it.
Why don't they do that? All right,
So yeah, no, I thought this was.
They might have
One of the
actual
big matches on SummerSlam.
I thought this was very fun, but like to me, it was just another like thing of like, and the other thing is why are they wasting Logan Paul in like with this title? And why do they not have him farther up do they not trust him? Is that the thing? Because he's more charismatic than
Roman.
I mean,
He's
he's
more
more.
in a match with Roman.
But that was what? That was a year and a half
Saudi
ago.
Saudi Arabia too.
Yeah,
The best match of Roman's title reign.
Yeah, like, I mean, like they're probably over rehearsed, but who cares? They're
Chase.
I care. I care.
I do not. No one goes out there and calls matches anymore, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, but it was good.
All right.
I like that a lot.
And then we had Bailey versus Yo Sky. I thought it was just all right. I think y'all liked it more than I did.
I thought it was
Bailey's entrance was weird.
Yeah,
because I had to look it up. I was like, is she Egyptian? She is not. She is Hispanic.
Her
That's
last name
weird.
Martinez.
Yeah, that's weird. I was like, what is the point of this? Maybe they were saying is Aztec maybe? Or no, Mayan. Which one's the pyramid? Is it Aztec or Mayan?
It's Aztec.
Okay, Aztec. Maybe they're saying she's some Aztec goddess.
That shit was.
It was.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
and
I don't get the love for this match. Like I liked it more than I liked it more than Chase.
Yeah, and I think I liked it more than all of you guys. That's crazy.
I didn't think it was.
I thought it was good. Yeah, I didn't think it was great though.
Oh man, I almost went forward. Man.
Oh, there's a lot of people that went over 4. There's a lot of people that.
Oh yeah, these people crazy. Maybe like 4.25, but like I can't go like more than that. It's crazy.
Like, I could see.
Like how far over are we talking about, sir?
Like 4.5, 4 and.
Jesus Christ. That's what I'm talking about, man. The bars in hell.
Like I would go 3 3/4 on it because I thought
that's about where I am too.
I went 3.5.
But I couldn't go to that 4 range. That's just not. I don't think it was that good.
Yeah, on cage match, that match is an 8.51, which would I think come out to like 4.25. So that's what cage match has.
I mean, okay, but like, bro, 4.5, like match of the year, Kenneth, that's crazy.
No. But what we have next is a match that Sanders Robin gave 5 stars to.
He's not the only one.
I heard.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I heard Dave Meltzer call it the greatest climax to a WrestleMania ever.
I
see where they're coming from, but I know how it could be better.
1 second.
Where's he going?
Fuck this motherfucker.
Anyways, but no, I could see like that. I understand. I just didn't like the way this match was. Like, I thought it was maybe great, but it was long. I don't like the way that they did the run-ins. I really felt like, what do you got, Chase?
This is the greatest climax to a WrestleMania ever.
No.
Not fucking Codyverse, fake crying, bullshit ass story. The story is bullshit. Can we start there? How the story is based on bullshit. He was never a Vince guy. When Vince finally got him, number one, he called Mike Jones, Virgil, just to fuck with him.
Yeah.
When he finally got him, he dressed him up in polka dots. All he did the entire time Dusty Rhodes was alive was shit on him. And yet here we are pretending
It's not even
he's
that.
fucking he always was destined to be champion, but he just never got it. It's like, no.
He
Vince
came in
Senior didn't like him.
twice.
Vince
He
Jr.
came in
didn't
twice. He came in twice as the opponent of the tour for Superstar. That's what he did.
like him. That's what he did.
That's what he did.
He got won a match at DQ, lost a rematch.
Yes.
That's it. There's no story there.
And then left, and then and anyone that knows Dusty knows Dusty's not a belt mark. He'd be like, okay, I won it, now I need to lose it. But I don't know. But yes, the story is bullshit. But it's WWE. They're gonna rewrite history to fit their narrative.
Yes,
so.
it's perfect. It's perfect for them. It's perfect for them. It is exactly their MO.
But
This
yeah,
is-
I don't think enough people are talking about
It's
that.
history
either.
as we tell
Yeah.
it, not history as it was.
But okay, Chase, you start. What did you think of
So go
this
ahead.
great
Oh, the match.
Yeah.
I need the floor, so everybody go.
What? I was confused why they took turns to run in.
I agree.
I was confused why everybody stopped whooping ass when music would hit.
Agree.
The Undertaker Rock thing made no sense.
I'm guessing because Austin wasn't there.
Yeah, he wasn't
Yeah.
there,
I mean,
and they couldn't bring in the other guy either.
so there you go.
Yeah, I thought this was like quintessential sports entertainment. Like, this is the kind of match that appeal, like, for a WWE fan, like a modern one, this is probably like the perfect match for you. You've got, run-ins, legends, all that sort of nonsense. I mean, it's kind of hard to rate the last 10 minutes were like not even a real match. I get, when I was doing the review for Voices of Wrestling, I said I would have, if Austin was in Undertaker's spot, I probably would have said, okay, this is I'll call this technically a great match, but yeah, it for my sensibilities, it didn't really appeal to me, especially because I'm not really invested in Cody's story. But yeah, definitely not a great match for what I like, and yeah, definitely not the greatest WrestleMania of all time. That's just silly.
So I look at this and I was trying to think, okay, what would I compare this to? And I immediately was like, this is not better than the match I'm going to compare it to, and people should go back and watch this match, and it's going to sound really weird, especially with everything going on, but it was a better match. Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon. Far better match like this, where it was all storytelling. You had the spamming of moves. It was like over dramatization. The whole thing, far better than what this was. And I agree. I'd like the everyone coming out one at a time bugged me, because I really felt you needed to have the Avengers moment, right? Where you have like all of the heels come out, they're beating down Cody, and then the faces come out, and you have just the big giant like brawl in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
with then it parts, and then you basically have Roman and Cody, and you go another, like, the thing is, they didn't even go long enough after all of the stuff. They needed to go probably another 5-10 minutes.
So a weird comparison, but sort of similar to what you described, is how they handled, I don't know if you remember this one, that AJ Styles Minoru Suzuki match, where they, on the G1, where they had a ref bump, and I think it was the Bullet Club guys came down, and then Archer and Davey Boy Smith came down, they had a brawl, they ran them off, and then the match went another 5-6 minutes.
It's one of the best matches in G1 history. But go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it had all that, like, you can do bullshit and the match still be good. That's the thing. I think people think automatic, but it's how you do the bullshit. It's when you do the bullshit. It's, does the bullshit like kill the match, or does it help the match? And like, we knew this was going to happen. We all came on here and said, this is what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. It's what should happen with the story that they're telling, but I just didn't think they handled it the right way. And then I'll let Markeem know, and then I will I will go about the post match bullshit.
So
Floor is yours, Marquine.
everyone that knows me, there are two pro wrestling archetypes that I love. Okay, the no nonsense ass kicker, Taz, Eddie Kingston, blah blah blah. Everybody here knows my favorite wrestler currently is Switchblade Jay White.
Oh,
And
really?
I figured out why. Because I love the maniacal, delusional, almost cult-like heel leader. I love that. Like Ric Flair back in the day. You know what I mean? Shea Douglas to an extent. I love that.
What about I can't go on. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I love that shit. Roman Reigns, for some reason, is that same character, but he's never been presented quite that way. They never lean into it. Instead, they present him like an ass kicker, which is so weird because he is that character. Like even MJF, when they didn't do enough with it, but like with the Pinnacle and stuff, I loved all that. You know what I mean? So in this match, because I did it on the last show, but I'm gonna do it again, Chase. I'm sorry. One of my favorite matches of all time is the G1 final in 2019. Because that match is what this should have been. They even had with the rules set up how they are, a better opportunity because Roman could do all his bullshit without the referee even getting involved. Like it was there for them. All Triple H had to do was watch that match and copy the layout. Legit. Just copy the layout because at the end, the crowd goes nuclear because Gato's gone. All the Bullet Club's been sent to the back. Now it's just Kota and Jay. And it looked like Jay was going to overcome him. That's what it looked like. But at the end of the day, he just couldn't quite do it. And that's what they should have did with Roman. Do the last 5 minutes. Because these do have, if you watch the match, like, although they're not like really doing any sort of high spots and things like that, but Roman and Cody surprisingly have really good chemistry. Could you imagine them trading counters, all that stuff, with the crowd knowing that nobody's coming out to help Roman? Roman hits his spear and it's like, oh my God, he's still gonna win. And he doesn't quite do it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine all of that? Then it becomes about Cody and not the fact that all these guys came back and we popped for all the guys from the past. You can serve two masters. Even if you want to do the Undertaker, fine. But at the end of the day, the end of that match, the climax should have been Cody and Roman trading those near falls. They didn't do that. And to me, for that, it doesn't matter to those people. It doesn't matter what I say. But for me, that's why I can never buy into the fact that they really are behind Cody. Because it will always be Cody in that element of, well, he was just kind of given this. He didn't really take it. He didn't vanquish the bloodline. His friends that are bigger stars than him vanquish the bloodline. You had John Cena coming out there. John Cena, Cody Rhodes isn't John Cena. He could be, but they clearly don't see John. You know what I'm saying? He's not the Undertaker. Maybe he could be, but clearly they don't see it that way. So your lasting thought is, oh man, the Undertaker just helped Cody win instead of Cody winning. Because all he did was just get up and then I do like the story they told with Roman being a kid because he's a child. Like y'all know I love Jay White, but Jay White's a child. He can't quite get over stuff, and neither can Roman because he couldn't quite get over what Seth Rollins did, and it cost him the match. That's one way to go, but you can still do that and then do all the other stuff I said. You could have did that like maybe that's how it ended. Maybe after all that stuff, Cody's still kind of fucked up. Roman has they trade all these moves and stuff. Roman has the upper hand. But he sees Seth out the corner of his eye, trying to sneak into the ring and still try to help Cody. Then you do that same spot, and then Cody goes, he's stupid, and he jumps on him. But they didn't do any of that, man. They didn't do any of that. Instead, Undertaker gave him the title. And then Josh, go take it away. Take it away with the move.
So I forgot about
but you go ahead.
I forgot about the Seth Rollins stuff. Seth Rollins stuff was weird.
He's apparently hurt, so they're writing him off.
Is he hurt?
Yeah.
Is that the deal? Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because it seemed weird the way that all of that went down because he didn't even get really in the ring and then he got taken out and then you did the Roman thing, which you'd be like, why are they doing this? This is so weird. But anyways, so Cody wins. They do the celebration. he calls out Paul, right? And he does he doesn't want to come out. Well, he was already out, so that's bullshit. And right then, that whole thing, like, where was Sean Spears during this?
Good point.
Where was he? Like, that's a Cody guy. Like, all of the Cody people should have been out there. It shouldn't have been the stars coming out to help Cody celebrate, because as soon as that happened, to me, and I'm sure the WWE faithful didn't see it this way, but to me, it took me out of it, because it was like, this is not organic. This is something else. This is a planned thing, because where are the Cody people that are in that company that you could have come out and do this thing? And then he calls out Paul, and then he calls out Bruce, and I was fucking done. Why the fuck would you call out Bruce Pritchard? Why the fuck would you call out of Bruce Pritchard with everything that's going on? Why would you call out Bruce fucking Pritchard? That pissed me off to so much, because we've heard all the Brock rumors all week. They brought back Stephanie. They had Stephanie on this show. No one's willing to ask Paul anything about anything. And then you bring out Bruce fucking Pritchard. This company has not changed one fucking bit. You can say new era, the bad guy's gone. The stuff that the bad guy laid, that foundation is still fucking there. And especially after Ronda Rousey went on her tirade about Bruce Pritchard, and then you're going to bring him out and you're going to, like, celebrate him. What are we fucking doing? Like, can we fucking, like, get people to actually call this fucking company out? Yes, they are doing things better. Yes, Triple H is running the company the way we thought he would probably run it if he got a hold of it, which was more of like what NXT was, for good and bad. And we'll see how that goes when guys start getting stale on the roster. We're not to that point yet, but when guys start getting stale on the roster, that's when this company is going to probably have problems, because that's what happened with NXT. Is as soon as things got stale, he didn't know what to do. But that's beside the point. We go through all of that, and at the very, very end, Cody gets down and then hugs Nick Khan on top of it all. These are all people that are in that lawsuit. I know everyone wants to pretend that lawsuit is Vince McMahon. It is Vince McMahon and WWE as a whole. That is who the lawsuit is against. It's not just Vince McMahon. We need to get over this bullshit. And I get that if for whatever reason, and no one wants to talk about this, and this is another thing that irks me, if the thought process is that for a long time, Paul did try to change things that Vince did, like the truly horrible things that he knew were going on, and he tried to change the culture there. If that's the case, if that's why all of these people don't want to go after Paul super hard, because they were like, well, he did try to change things, he just wasn't able to because of Vince, fucking say that. Come out and say that. That would do so much more for people like us if you actually said, but you're not saying that, so I can't believe that's the case. It just seems like you don't want to go after Paul because, well, it's better now, so we're not going to go after Paul. Or the thought of, well, it was just Vince, and it's all just Vince, and it's only Vince, and we know that's not the case. You had people like Bruce Pritchard covering for his ass for years, and you're going to bring this guy out that's not reading the room. I'm sorry that no one wants to call them out for this, but it just completely killed that moment and took a moment like what was on the Ring of Honor show, with that title change versus this title change and the celebration, and they're totally different things. And it really just, like, one of the things that really I've noticed over the last year, just because I live in KC, so I had to watch watching Chiefs games, watching the Taylor Swift bullshit, and seeing all of that, and seeing people talk about, oh, this is all contrived, and it's just marketing, and it's this, and then watching WWE and watching people just go along with this bullshit, which is clearly bullshit. It's just so freaking, and I understand you're talking about like a whole lot more people watching the NFL than watching WWE, but holy shit, is it different? And it's just like, what are we doing?
I think the thing that bothered me the most about the way everything ended was Michael Cole's call. Like,
Yeah.
damn it, I love pro wrestling. I'm like,
So
brother,
fake. So fake.
it's so first off so fake because I've never heard a commentator ever say that, like for any reason. And the second thing is that you guys, even on this show, have done everything except embrace pro wrestling. But you want me to believe that this match that was full of run-ins, that was the most sports entertainment match I may have ever seen, evokes that from you. Like, I love pro, like, you know, and Samantha Irvin, God bless her. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean because I don't hate her the way everyone else does. I actually think like the NXT girl is terrible, but what Samantha Irvin does, it actually does make them kind of stand out a bit. But that whole fake crying when you when she was making that call, that was weird. I showed that video of that video is going around of her making the call to my girlfriend, and the first thing she said was, "Where's the tears? You're doing all this welling up. There's not a single tear." And it's you can tell someone told her to say that, and someone knew to put the camera on her directly, by the way, when she made this call. Like, it's all so weird. It's all so weird. Can we just have a real genuine moment? You compare what happened with Mark Briscoe when he won and everything that went on with that, other than them giving them the streamers, telegraphing the win. But the commentary didn't like do all this shit. They didn't say all these catchphrases and none of that stuff. They just kind of let the moment speak for itself. And that company is incapable of doing that. And that's why I don't fuck with it. Good, keep going, Josh. I'm sorry.
So the other thing was, you know, they did all that, and then Michael Cole goes that whole like rant about Cody, how he believed in Cody and how all of this stuff. Really, nobody in that fucking company believed in Cody. That's an absolute like.
That's why he got released the first time. Like,
right?
They didn't believe in him.
Like, no one was crying.
He was Stardust, man. He ain't believing that dude.
What the fuck are we talking about? Like, this is the shit that like, and it's like, where did this new fan base come from? Because they definitely weren't watching 8 years ago or 10 years ago. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's a brand new fan base that doesn't understand any of that stuff or know any of that stuff and just takes what WWE feeds them. And it's like, whatever. And like, I didn't think this was a bad show. I thought this was a good show.
It's
better than me. You better than me.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't like this great, wonderful show. It wasn't even as like last year's Night One, like I said before. That was a great show. That was like surprisingly great show. And you know, we thought that this night, like when we were previewing it, we thought this would be like perhaps a great night, and it just wasn't. And so, like like you said, the bar is like in hell,
below the earth.
Yeah,
it's
below the
like,
earth,
and it's clear these people don't watch anything but WWE.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm glad you said it. No, it's
no. Well, I mean, as far as like I think there's a segment, a large enough segment that watches things outside, but I think the vast majority only like this is what they know, and so.
But I call bullshit because Cody is a prime example. You motherfuckers know what's going on. Like, cause none of this would happen if y'all just ignored everything that was happening outside of this place. Because the last time y'all saw him, he was Stardust. So what are we doing? Y'all are lying. Somebody is lying, John.
Well,
Somebody is lying.
The other thing is this. You know, they did that video package beforehand, and the Bucks were in that. They had the picture with the Bucks, right? Which was cool. And then you get to the end, and to me, you ruined all of that. Hey, maybe they are going to do something different. Maybe Cody will win, and it'll be different. And you went right to, nope, this isn't different. This isn't different at all. So
like 30 seconds later.
Yeah, it's like what are we doing? But and a lot of that has to do with, you know, the wrestling media as a whole just being absolutely shit and not having any sort of guts whatsoever and wanting just to placate
Oh yeah.
Whoever.
Triple H. Somebody brought it up in the comment. Triple H, by the way, this whole love affair with him all weekend is rehearsed. Fucking every time somebody had a chance, let's give credit to Triple H. Paul Levesque is the reason we're all here right now. And they used to do this with Vince, but this seemed like worse. They didn't even do this with Vince.
Well, because they're trying to make you forget Vince. They're trying to make you aware that, hey, Vince is not.
How many pedigrees do we see on these past two shows? How many pedigrees?
I'm just saying that this
so many fucking pedigrees.
That's what the PR is. Nick Khan is a master at PR. It is very evident, and you have major news sites that just publish WWE PR as news virtually every day, and it is ridiculous.
Well, that's all entertainment news. They do that.
And
no.
No, go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry.
That shit Fightful does. That is not doing entertainment news. That is.
Here we go.
That is something else. That is
your old nemesis.
That is taking WWE PR that you were given and saying this is news, which is
why
bullshit.
did my camera die? I don't know. We're almost again. I can
hear you.
Another thing. Last thing I wanted to bring up, because I know Chase is trying desperately to get out of here. So another thing I wanted to
get out. Yes.
Oh, you had another. Okay, never mind. But the other thing that I lost it. I had it. It's gone. Go ahead, Chase.
Oh, I have one more thing on that topic, real quick. Just to finish off what Josh said, they better hope that Triple H has nothing else to do with this lawsuit. Because if it comes out that if he knew a lot about this whole thing, they're gonna have to scrub all of this from these shows.
Oh yeah, this is fucking damning.
Yeah.
If he was more involved with it, oh my god.
Markeem, there's a button at the bottom that says "Start and Stop Scam." If you look,
I'm trying to click it. Nothing's happening. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. I've been clicking it. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Anybody else thought it was weird that CM Punk was out there? That was weird.
Yes, that was weird.
That was really
like I said, but Orton was out there. I mean, look at all the
LA
people.
Knight was out there.
LA Knight was out there. Like I was looking for, like I said, I was looking for Sean Spears. I was like, why is Sean Spears not out there? He's in this
Brody
company
Jr.
now.
was out there.
Huh?
Yeah.
Brody Lee Jr. was out there.
Yeah, it's like so weird. So
Did
weird.
y'all see that thing that off topic a little bit? Y'all see that thing Amanda Hubert put up about how her son was like, when I wrestle, I wanted to be like this. I was like, bro, y'all trying to make me cry tonight? What the fuck, man?
I mean,
Uncle Bray and Dad are up there. I was like, man, stop this. Stop this. I'm still a human at the end of the day.
So I have a question. If AEW does not do 0.23 2 weeks in a row, do we have what's happening this Wednesday? Or do you think because of all the digging WWE did this weekend, it wasn't just Punk, it was constant digging from WWE, that apparently they don't do that, by the way. I don't know if you knew this.
I want you guys to no, go ahead, Chase. Go ahead.
But do you think it would have happened because of that, or do you think it's the 2.23s in a row?
I think
I'm leaning more towards the 0.23s in a row.
I want you guys to also pay very close attention to how they are advertising this. Okay, they are advertising this as we are going to see footage from All In. That's all they're advertising. That's all I'm saying.
Everybody has said that they're going to show whatever, at least parts of the altercation. Which,
I mean, we shall see.
We'll see, because you've got rumors that one of the things is that this is not going to be good for Punk in numerous ways. That he might look like a little bitch when it comes. I mean,
do I think they should show this to the world on their television show? No. Do I blame them? Absolutely not, because everybody talks so much about these people, and they have just sat there and not said anything, and then CM Punk, unprovoked, goes on this goddamn podcast and goes out of his way to disrespect how they do business, disrespect all this shit, disrespect what happened at All In, disrespect Tony Khan himself. So yes, put it all out there. Fuck him, man. Now is not the time to take the high road.
Do you find it funny?
People, hold on,
Okay,
Josh.
okay.
People talk so much shit about how like, this company is immature and they don't know how to drop shit and all this other stuff. When none of them have said anything since this man has gotten fired. The Young Bucks are trolls, but they never outright reference them at all. This motherfucker won't shut up about them. He goes before their biggest show of the year. You go on Ariel Hawani's podcast. Fuck him, but you go on Ariel Hawani's podcast and you decide to do this. Yes, they deserve to clap back at you. They absolutely deserve to. Should they do it on TV? No, but I don't blame them. Go ahead, Josh.
Okay, so I'm one of those opinions they shouldn't probably put it on TV, but I get it, and I think that they have I'm also wondering if WWE like it's clear Ariel asked those questions. We all know the deal with Ariel and WWE. We all should know this by now. I'm wondering if they thought it was going to be like every other time where Tony just was like, I'm not going to talk about it. Whatever. Like he's never talked about a lot of stuff when it comes to WWE or even Ariel to be fair. I find it funny that all of a sudden Ariel comes on his show and it's like, oh, you know, the story with Cody and everything with Cody, Tony Khan and AEW need to be thanked, and went on this little like thing about saying how great that was. It makes me wonder that Punk went on his show, said all of his stuff, and if someone, I don't know, maybe John Pollock, who Ariel is friends with, maybe clued Ariel in on some things, and Ariel was like, oh shit. And then they announced, hey, we're going to show the footage, and Ariel's like, okay, I got to get ahead of this because now I'm going to look like an idiot, right? So, you know, I'm just saying, maybe that's tinfoil hatting, but I'm just saying that it's really odd that after all of this time, Ariel was like, oh, by the way, you know, you got to give Tony Khan and AEW their credit when it comes to Cody. Very strange, especially after all of that. And especially after you go and you watch the Cody interview and you see how kind of Ariel acted when Cody wouldn't go after.
Yeah, he dropped it real quick.
Right.
He dropped it real quick. Because Cody is a fucking decent human being. That's why. We don't need to know why he left. None of us know. We can all speculate. Brandy Rose. We can all speculate why. But none of us really know. And it's not our business. This is not our business. CM Punk keeps making this shit our business. You don't work there anymore, bro. If you moved on, fucking move on. You could have just said, I don't want to talk about this. I moved on. It's WrestleMania. But no, motherfucker, you decided I'm going to open my big ass mouth and this is the forum to do this before the biggest show of the year. So
let's be honest, this whole thing started because of this. Like, all of it is because CM Punk can't drop anything, continued to put, you know, his side of the story, not himself, but through his little like friends and everything.
Who was that put that quote on Twitter? Like Drew McIntyre's character is a man that is now bitter about everything around him and can't move on with his life. His character is now CM Punk. Something like that. Something like that's hilarious. But yeah, true. Fuck, man.
I mean that's so that's what I find absolutely hilarious about it. So, anyways, but no.
John, you got anything to say before I kill this?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but I think it's more the majority of he's just pissed at CM Punk going off again and just not shutting up. So it'll be something. I'm not sure if they should air it on TV, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Should be interesting.
And I see Ace King in the chat. I see him going crazy. The reason why we're not getting to the specifics about CM Punk is because we kind of did that last week, and it's just not worth it. He's a shady individual. He lies. He manipulates. He says what he wants to. He's been throwing shots at these people the whole time. And
stealing a phrase here, but he holds people to a standard that he himself does not.
That he does not. Yeah, he does not himself live up to. So it's really not. We could go bit by bit about everything he's ever done, but it's really a waste of time. Fuck this man. Like seriously, just fuck him. I hope whatever they do show in this video Wednesday kills any argument defending him. That's what I hope. I hope it does. I hope it does.
It probably won't though.
It probably won't, because people are going to be like,
Yeah.
who cares?
Look, we live in an era where the evidence doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is the reality we live in.
The Cornet
Facts
crowd.
don't
The
matter.
Cornet crowd is going to spin this no matter what it ends up showing. So
Well, why are you showing your business like that? It ain't our business. That's what it'll be. That's what it'll
Okay.
be.
Right.
Well, Sean, thanks for coming on. I didn't know this was gonna be the longest episode ever, but you trooped it out. These two can go. Sometimes I like to pull the rein in a little bit more, but this is a lot of stuff to cover. So, but
Yes.
when we
Yeah,
return-
Sean, plug your shit, Sean.
Oh yeah, plug your
Yeah.
Sean
oh,
does
yeah,
everything.
come on.
Sean is let me hype Sean up real quick. Sean is the best fantasy drafter on the internet. He has his own podcast called The Draft, where they take a era for it's the coolest shit in the world. Where they take it, you got to let me on one day. By the way, Sean, they take an
I was
era
gonna
of like
say one time we should bring on you and Josh.
yeah for the
That'd
draft.
be a lot of
I'm gonna kick Josh's ass, but they're bringing like an era of like pro wrestling history. Like my favorite one they did was the WWE ECW one. Loved it to death, and they had to put on like the best.
That
cards.
was my idea. That was my idea.
Sean killed it, man. Sean, that main event, just go back and listen to that. The main event of that is awesome. Like, I wish that was a real show. But yeah, it's one of my favorite podcasts. He writes for Voices of Wrestling. He appears on everybody's show. He's a fucking genius. I love this man. Ring of Honor historian. One of the best dudes on the internet doing what we do. Sean Cito.
You get
Thank you.
4%.
I appreciate it.
And he pisses off the right people as well.
Yeah, pisses off the right people by just being a nice guy. That's Sean Cito.
And
All
I will plug. So I did write a lot of stuff over the weekend. Did the Ring of Honor review for the site. I participated with Suit Williams, who another great writer, writes for
My boy,
F4W as well.
Another dope motherfucker.
Yeah, we did both nights of WrestleMania, and then I sort of mentioned racing earlier, but I've done a series on the site where I look at crossovers between NASCAR and pro wrestling. First part, which was back in, I think, like February, I did WCW. I just did one on WWE that has some interesting stuff in it. And then probably sometime the next month or two, I'll do a part 3, which will cover TNA. So there you go.
Well, when we return,
And us three, we just do this.
yeah, we just do this. We just do this. We probably should have stuck with YouTube, but we discovered Twitter, and that was bad. We should have stuck with YouTube. It wouldn't be working if we'd stuck with YouTube.
Yeah, I don't think any of us would be working our day job if we wouldn't stuck with it.
But we will be joined next time by another YouTube brethren.
Don't tell them yet. Don't tell them yet.
What?
Don't tell them yet. Let them find out.
No, we gotta hype the show.
Okay, all right,
plug the
cool. Go ahead.
Back in the day, he was known as Honor Hammer 26, but he's now just Eric Blum, sports writer. But
Oh, he's joining us?
Yes.
Awesome.
Look, y'all got him. I still got to do my job sometimes. But, yep, as always, we'll be back in
2 weeks. Excuse me?